Ladies and gentlemen, do you see what happens when you end a show in the right way? Gets everybody excited, man. It gets everybody talking. It gets the excitement already pumping for next week. Paul Heyman. No surprise at all if you've been watching the show for the last year and a half. Paul Heyman has enlisted another member into this newly forming faction that is not done forming yet. Bron Breakker joins Seth Rollins, and it looks like CM Punk and Roman Reigns are gonna have to coexist. John Cena has his next challenge. Over the course of his retirement year, and my, oh my, that women's division is fucking hot. Ladies and gentlemen, the Raw After WrestleMania is back. Serve them up cold. Tonight in the venue, when I walk through those doors, I want to know on this Monday night, what the fuck are we guys drinking tonight? I'll see you guys over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for April 21st, 2025. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Raw After Mania, wherever you may be. And oh my goodness,
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers.
Oh no.
5 beers.
Oh
6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers. And a Bloody Mary.
oh my goodness, man. We got Several bombs already tonight in the chat. We got to shout out my guy, Best in the World, Matt. He comes in with a $100 super chat. David Thiering with a $100 super chat. And we got our guy, Phantom67, with a $100 super chat. We'll start with David Thiering. He says, well, now, the Raw ending is certainly a newsworthy development. Love the fact that they tied Bron Breakker's interaction with Paul Heyman into this from when he was on NXT. Could we get a tag team match at Backlash, JD? I don't know. But if it happens, I say yes, please. We will talk about that. Mr. Thiering, thank you very much. Phantom67, enjoying a delicious Four Roses bourbon. That's a good one, brother. Now, that was very entertaining with Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Cena, Orton, take my money. So WWE give the belts back to Liv and Raquel, huh? Braun aligns with Seth and Heyman. Oh, yeah. Cheers, JD. And we got Best in the World, Matt, with a $100 super chat. Now that Cena and Orton are starting to take shape, I like David Thiering's idea of a tag team match with Punk and Reigns versus Rollins and Bron Breakker. Let's get Grande Americano on the Backlash card, and I will be set for St. Louis in the words of Batista. Gimme what I want. Oh, my goodness, man. You guys are absolutely unbelievable.
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Unbelievable, man. You guys have absolutely fucking killed it all weekend, and you guys continue to kill it even after WrestleMania has ended, man. We got 5,000 people in here on a Monday night. I haven't even said a fucking word yet. Oh, my goodness, man. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. This weekend was the most successful WrestleMania weekend that I've ever been a part of. I wasn't even in Vegas. And Sunday night, we did 8,200 live on YouTube and roughly another 7,000 on X live streaming. We came over 15,000 deep for the WrestleMania Night 2 post show on Sunday, man. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. We are excited about what's going on here, man. We're going to get into it right now, but thank you guys very much for all the love and support. Keep that energy going, man. We'll be here for at least 3 hours tonight. It's going to be a good one. I know a lot of people were frustrated, man. I sat in this office all day just kind of soaking it in all weekend. I really didn't even want to do anything today. I'm fucking just fried. My mind is fried. I don't want to talk about pro wrestling. I don't want to think about pro wrestling. I just simply want to either sleep or sit in this chair and play some Destiny or Call of Duty or something that is going to take my mind away from the everyday grind here of pro wrestling. But it's WrestleMania weekend, man, and we live and die by what happens in that squared circle. This is what I've built my business around. This is what I have made my full-time gig. I love every bit of it. But it could get a little tiresome and it could get a little overwhelming. It was a little frustrating. Coming out of last night's show, man, I saw what people were saying. I got the opinions of a few people that I actually like listening to and very much respect in the community. The overall tone coming out of WrestleMania last night was John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, and the way that they ended the show was definitely one of the worst WrestleMania main events and one of the worst WrestleMania endings in 41 years of WrestleMania. It is going to be a very subjective thing. Is it the absolute worst? You may think it's the absolute worst. You may have walked away from that show thinking that WrestleMania 41 was the most disappointing fucking ending that you've seen in 41 years of WrestleMania. There have been some stinkers. There have been absolute bombs as far as the main event goes for WrestleMania. Roman and The Undertaker, Miz and John Cena, that second John Cena and Rock match. What else was there? What else was there? There were a couple bad ones there, man. I can't even think of all of them. I was looking through everybody's comments. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at 34. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. There are a couple of stinkers in that WrestleMania discussion for worst main event of all time. Cody Rhodes and John Cena, no matter how you look at it, no matter where you rank it, it's up there. It's up there, for sure. People were left disappointed. I ranted. I gave my audience last night one hell of a fucking 30-minute rant. I went over everything, how I was feeling. I saw Dave LaGreca's rant. I listened to Solomonster's rant. Everybody felt the same way. Different tones, different approaches. The one thing that remained the same was that everybody felt the same. Coming out of WrestleMania, people were fucking disappointed for variables and different reasons. Whether you want to blame Cena, whether you want to blame Triple H, whether you want to blame The Rock, whether you want to blame Cody. It was not a good way to end the show. Did that lessen the excitement for tonight's show? I think it did. I didn't really find myself excited about what WWE was going to follow up on. I think they killed a lot of people's momentum and a lot of people's just excitement going into Monday Night Raw. Mixed with the fact that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania really hasn't hit the way that it used to hit. I feel like Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania was, at once upon a time, a fucking can't-miss banger episode of Raw. The audiences were just lively and just... I love the whole aspect of them hijacking the show. Raw after WrestleMania was such a hot ticket that you could not contain that audience on any given Monday after WrestleMania. And then one day, Vince McMahon killed it. Vince McMahon could not stand Raw after WrestleMania. Vince McMahon could not stand the fact that the fans had the power. And he started to book the show unlike a Raw after WrestleMania. He took that power away from the audience. He did not want us to freely speak our minds. Triple H, he was definitely looked at as the guy to give us that Raw after Mania feeling. Let's bring Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, that feeling back. Because the show fucking needs it. This weekend absolutely needed it. This was not only the best Raw after Mania in several years. I would go out on a limb and say that this ending was just as good as anything on night 2 of WrestleMania. I actually enjoyed this show more than night 1 of WrestleMania. And I would probably even have it come close to night 2. I might go out on a limb and say most of you enjoyed what happened tonight more so than any night of WrestleMania 41. That's a problem. That's a problem. WrestleMania should be an absolutely just fucking impeccable show from top to bottom. And a lot of the people that are watching this show tonight, a lot of people that watch Monday Night Raw tonight, you're going to feel that same way. A lot of people enjoyed what happened tonight more so than anything on WrestleMania night 1 or night 2. So Raw after WrestleMania was a huge thumbs up show from WWE and Triple H. And we got another fucking bomb in here, man. Oh my goodness. You guys are crazy, man. Corey with a $100 super chat. Corey simply says, I just wanted to say thank you, JD, and thank you to everyone. You know what, Corey? Get another round of applause for Corey. Another round of applause for Corey. Corey, thank you for being here. Appreciate you very much. So I think I'm in the realm, I think I'm in the ballpark of opinions when I say that I think a lot of people, the majority of the people enjoyed Monday Night Raw tonight more so than night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania 41. The big takeaway for tonight's show was Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. They saved Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and their turn, or at least Heyman's turn, on CM Punk and Roman Reigns. In the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania, they saved the aftermath of that situation for the closing segment of tonight's Raw After Mania. There was a small part of me that thought WWE was simply going to give Rollins a microphone. He was going to say the bare minimum. We weren't going to forward anything coming out of Mania. CM Punk would show up. There'd be a brawl. Rollins would leave him laying, and we'd go off the air. That's what I thought we were going to get. And I thought we were going to get that because WWE, they don't like to show all their cards at the same time. And especially coming out of what happened last night on night 2, I wasn't really expecting WWE to do much of anything. But my, oh my, did they leave everyone very happy with the conclusion of this show. And man, did they get people excited about what's to come, not only going into next week, but going into Backlash on May 10th in St. Louis. Paul Heyman has added another piece to this now unnamed faction that he is seemingly forming right before our very eyes. I do not think he's done. I do not think that he is done. Bron Breakker has now joined Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins in what I am now unofficially labeling the new Dangerous Alliance on Monday Night Raw. And I absolutely love this for all of the obvious reasons. The last time Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker had a backstage segment was on SmackDown in February of 2024. It was an episode of SmackDown. In this segment, Heyman, alongside Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, was involved in a confrontation that included Bron Breakker, who at that point had recently signed with SmackDown. The situation about this segment was that Paul Heyman very much eyed Bron Breakker in a way that would assume to the viewer that he had interest in using him for whatever his services being utilized by Paul Heyman. Adding him to a faction, managing him, the next big thing. A lot of people had made that Heyman and Bron Breakker correlation even before Bron Breakker joined SmackDown. And then he got moved to Monday Night Raw. WWE ran an NXT show where I believe Paul Heyman was in the corner of Bron Breakker during a Tuesday night episode where they went head-to-head with AEW Title Tuesday a few years back. He was on that show, and he was in the corner, and he spoke up. He spoke highly about Bron Breakker. So WWE has made it no secret that Paul Heyman has been eyeing the services of Bron Breakker. The interaction here on SmackDown was brief, but very notable, like I mentioned, as it hinted at a potential for future storylines, with Heyman acknowledging Bron Breakker's talent and his presence. Everybody's excited about this because of what happened coming out of Sunday. They wanted something to believe in. They wanted to feel emotion about something. And there's very few that really elicit that feeling like Paul Heyman. Bron Breakker lost the Intercontinental Championship to Dominic Mysterio last night, Sunday, night 2 of WrestleMania 41. And a lot of people were very happy that Dominic Mysterio won the championship. Bron Breakker wasn't pinned. Bron Breakker did what he had to do with the Intercontinental Championship. Now, that is going to be the centerpiece of the Judgment Day storyline and Finn Balor being removed from the Judgment Day. But Bron Breakker is now moving on to bigger and better things. He gives up the Intercontinental Championship to now stand side by side with Paul Heyman, who manages nothing but Hall of Famers. He now stands side by side with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and is automatically thrusted into a program with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. My God, how you go from Intercontinental Championship to basically the main event overnight is absolutely a beautiful thing to see. It's an unbelievable thing to watch see take place. Now, I mentioned last night that Bron Breakker lost because he was probably going to wrestle Bill Goldberg at the next Saudi show in June or SummerSlam, the latest. I still think that is the potential plan. But man, oh man, does this opportunity now open up so many doors for Bron Breakker, so many doors for WWE. They needed something to really carry this show. And Paul Heyman, WWE did two things tonight that really gave you a glimpse of where they are going and what they're already thinking. Paul Heyman said that whatever's transpiring now is going to carry us into WrestleMania 42. And WWE, with that sly advertisement, which I didn't really expect tonight, already promoting the Survivor Series at Petco Park in San Diego, California, the home of the San Diego Padres of Major League Baseball. Gee, I wonder why they did that. We got Punk and Roman Reigns. We got the new dangerous alliance forming. Paul Heyman is not done, guys. Paul Heyman is not done by a long shot. This is going to be a beautiful thing to see take place on television over the coming weeks. We're already looking at a major match for Backlash. Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker versus Roman Reigns and CM Punk in a tag team match at Backlash in St. Louis. Sign me the fuck up. That sounds fucking fantastic. And then you got Randy Orton and John Cena. That's a potential 1-2 combo right there for a banger pay-per-view. But Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman is a partnership that I think a lot of people saw coming. A lot of people wanted. It continues the story with Punk and Rollins. It continues the story with Rollins and Reigns. And who is now also on the radar for Paul Heyman, because you know it is not over yet. Is he going to add somebody else? Is he going to add someone from NXT? Even before we get there, is there going to be a draft? Normally, WWE has a draft around this time of the year, late April, early May, going into the summer months. Is there going to be a draft? Are we going to get the rosters shaken up again? Who is he going to add, if he is going to add anybody? I see names thrown around already tonight. I mentioned Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre would make perfect sense. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, that was a potential for WrestleMania. And McIntyre joining that group would fit in like a glove, honestly. Some people are already making assumptions that Paul Heyman is building a team for Rock. And I don't want to mention The Rock. We'll talk about The Rock tonight. I don't want to mention Rock being back on television because the more we talk about it, the only way we end up is feeling upset. So I don't even want to mention that, but I'm going to mention it here right now. Is he building a team for what is to eventually come down the line if The Rock wants to come back to television? Is John Cena going to align with Seth Rollins? We don't know. Because I know Punk made mentions of John Cena. I know Punk made mentions of The Rock. This could all be leading to something at Survivor Series. We don't know. I wonder how these worlds are going to intertwine. But I think this is a great start with Bron Breakker, Seth Rollins. Bron Breakker is going to be a massive piece to the WWE's future. And him aligned with Paul Heyman is one of the most perfect pairings you could possibly ask for. So I'm very much looking forward to that. We'll get into what happened, how this transpired tonight. I love this. And like I said in the intro, the way a show goes off the air is so important. It is so important. This automatically now gets people excited for next week. You can't end a show like you did on Sunday night and expect people to genuinely feel excited. Nobody wants to feel like they did waking up this morning. They want to feel like they did after this show went off the air. So we'll talk about that. Randy Orton, he's thrown his name into the pool of talent that wants to work with John Cena this year in his retirement year, and it's happening as soon as May 10th in St. Louis for the WWE Championship. Randy Orton was the first name after WrestleMania to go and challenge John Cena, all it took was one RKO. And that is presumably your main event for May 10th, Backlash in St. Louis. I have no problem with that. I really don't. I think everybody also anticipated that. I think a lot of people really were waiting on that to happen. The only thing that I have a problem with, and I know this was a big talking point with a lot of people, including myself, the way that it made Cody Rhodes look. The Cody Rhodes looked like a fucking geek last night. He looked like a complete fucking schmuck in that match with John Cena. The payback to Travis Scott was not what it should have been after what he did and what The Rock did and what Cena did to him at the Elimination Chamber. It was fucking lame. And then Cody standing there with the WWE Championship, not having the balls enough to blast Cena with the championship after what they did to him in Toronto. And all it took was one low blow and an attitude adjustment, and John Cena won the WWE Championship. No mention of Cody Rhodes. No Cody Rhodes on this show tonight at all, with Cena in the building. I don't really know where John Cena and Cody Rhodes end up over the next 27 dates that John Cena has on the calendar before he retires. I don't know what's next for Cody Rhodes. You would think he wants his championship back. You would think he wants revenge. You would think he would be angry. You'd think he'd be on the fucking biggest Monday Night Raw of the entire year. One of the biggest shows all year. Never mind Monday night. Cody was not in the building. Cody was not at Raw. That's fucking lame. That's just lazy fucking writing. And I don't want to mention The Rock, but I'm going to mention The Rock. No mention of The Rock from John Cena whatsoever after John Cena won the championship, and I would say presumably became The Rock's champion. Again, not a fucking mention about The Rock. I think more people are upset about The Rock not showing up, and more people are upset at Dwayne than anything else. A lot of people are placing blame on The Rock for what happened last night. We'll talk about that. I got my conspiracies. Man. I tell you, I sat at this desk all day just kind of absorbing everybody's feeling about what happened on Sunday night. I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. You're either in or you're out. You can't sit in the pool with your feet in the pool while everybody else is enjoying the fucking pool and enjoying the fucking beautiful feeling of the water on their bodies. Get in or get out. You look like an idiot. Get in. If you don't want to get in, get the fuck out. So we'll talk about that. I got my theories. I don't like it. But again, no Cody. He looked like a fucking geek last night. No mention of anything Rock. Seeing that John Cena is now The Rock's champion. But Randy Orton is slated to challenge John Cena for the WWE Championship. I'm assuming that Cody Rhodes is going to have a position in this storyline. Because I know Randy had already made his call for number 15 weeks before WrestleMania. Even when Cody was champion, he said, no matter if it's you or Cena, I'm coming after the championship. So Randy Orton, kept word on his promise. Now, where is Cody in all that? So we'll talk about that as well. Gunther. One of the best, this may be the best segment of the night. Gunther attacked the commentary team because they are so pro Jey Uso. Gunther attacked Michael Cole. He was about to put Michael Cole in a sleeper. Pat McAfee came to his defense, and Pat McAfee ended up throwing himself into the line of fire, and Gunther absolutely demolished Pat McAfee tonight, choked him out. Pat McAfee was turning all shades of blue as Gunther wrapped those gargantuan arms around him and put him to sleep. That was a great fucking segment. I don't know where they're going as far as Gunther, but Pat McAfee is no stranger to in-ring competition. Pat McAfee has wrestled Austin Theory on the grand stage. Pat McAfee wrestled Adam Cole when NXT was still black and gold. I don't know if I want to see a Pat McAfee versus Gunther match, but at least for tonight, all those that don't like Pat McAfee's commentary, Gunther to you looks like a national hero for what he did to Pat McAfee on Raw. Io Sky, she had an unexpected challenge tonight. And we'll talk about that as the women's division is absolutely fucking incredible in WWE. Why did that open challenge happen tonight? I got my theories. We'll certainly talk about it. And Dominic Mysterio gets a huge victory over Penta as the Judgment Day gains another member. Nobody knew. Someone very familiar, someone with the same initials as this guy right here. But we'll talk about Dominic pinning Penta tonight and where that leads the Intercontinental Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania right here on Off the Script. And I want to thank you guys very much for joining me. We have 6,200 people in this chat room right now. And we are live on X tonight. You guys are awesome. Wherever you may be watching me, thank you guys very much for all of your support. We did 15,000 live viewers between X and YouTube last night, man. That's all thanks to you guys. I don't know what I did to be so fortunate to have so many people value what I do here and enjoy what I do here, man, but you guys, real talk, have changed my life over the course of the last 5 years that I've been doing this full time. And without you guys, this channel is not where it is today. And we are only growing week by week, month by month, year by year. This was the biggest and best WrestleMania season that we've ever had. And it wasn't better than last year's WrestleMania. It was actually on a less scale because there was no Dwayne. But you guys killed it. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys very much for joining me and making this WrestleMania season special. Hopefully next year is a lot better than what we got this year on TV. And I can't wait to spend it with you guys again next year, man, for 42 in New Orleans. I may actually venture down to New Orleans next year. We'll keep you guys posted on that. So thank you very much for all the support. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We got 1,300 likes going on 1,400 likes. I would love to see 2,000 likes minimum. So hit that thumbs up. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. You guys have already fucking blown me away with the support via Super Chat, so get them on in. And tonight's show, once again, is sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew. You guys want a free sample courtesy of the podcast? All you got to do is pay $5 in shipping and handling fees. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. So go get your free sample. And everything else that you guys might need as far as content, we got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Cameo. And make sure you guys go check out both Night 1 and Night 2 reviews of WrestleMania 41 on the homepage. So go check that out if you missed anything coming out of WrestleMania weekend. Let's start at the top here, man. Monday Night Raw. We start with John Cena. John Cena starts us off the Raw after Mania. Now, I was expecting some sort of explanation, but John Cena continued to just go at the fans and really make this about his journey this year in his final year and really just sticking to his guns about ruining pro wrestling and ruining it all this year for the fans. One thing I do like about this John Cena run so far, sure, he hasn't changed much of anything. He hasn't changed his appearance. He hasn't really changed his theme. He hasn't changed his theme at all. He hasn't changed the way that he is presented on WWE television. But there are little things, little nuances that John Cena has really kind of simplified and they work in this heel run. I love the fact that he's wearing all dark color. He's wearing all black. There is still some color to his clothing and his attire, but it's all black, and I love that vibe. Comes out, there's no fucking fireworks. He got fireworks tonight, but there's no fireworks, there's no flash. It's not flashy, there's no strobe lights, there's nothing. It's all black and white. He comes on out. It's very simplified, man. I like it. And this new thing that he's doing now, especially in this run, he's wearing the belt backwards. He does this thing where he holds his towel above his head. Camera is walking behind John Cena, and he is wearing the WWE Championship backwards. Another sign of disrespect for the championship and a disrespect to the fans who value that championship. And he's doing the same thing that he did in the early days of his career. So I like this evil, this dark vibe to John Cena. It's something subtle. It's not too flashy. It's very simple, but it fucking works. I like it. He's out there. He wore the belt backwards. He walks to the ring. We got fireworks galore going off for John Cena tonight. Cole said he broke Ric Flair's record for the most world title reigns of anyone in WWE history. No more graphics as well, says GoodTube in the chat. No more graphics. It's just lettering. Again, very simple, and it works. I love it. So Cena's out there. He leaned out of the ring, and Mark Nash, the new ring announcer on SmackDown, tonight he was on Raw. I think Mark Nash is doing a phenomenal job as ring announcer. Man, he's got a powerful voice. It's very distinct. I like it. He fits in like a glove. He calls Mark Nash into the ring, and he handed him a piece of paper that he pulled out of his pocket. And he wants Mark Nash to read this because the announcement of John Cena tonight was not really up to John Cena's standards. So he handed him a piece of paper, and Mark Nash reads, and I quote, "Forgive me, I have been informed my announcement has been deemed disrespectful. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest of all time, the never-seen 17 gracing Las Vegas with his presence for the final time, the last real champion, John Cena." John Cena is enjoying being a heel. I think John Cena has enjoyed being a heel. He might have been worried how people were going to take to it when they initially did the turn. I don't know if John Cena knew if it was going to work or not, but I think John Cena has settled into this role now, being that it's April, and we're now a month and a half removed from the actual turn at the Chamber. I think he's enjoying his heel turn. I do. Cena held up the belt and said, "Winners write history. You are not worthy. You think that on Friday you can bully me, and then I step in a ring with gold around my waist, and just because you cheer, I am supposed to forgive you? Yeah, that's not how a functional relationship works." He said just because they showed up in a good mood, he can still tell them to go straight to hell. There was a Cena chant tonight. They were very pro-Cena in Las Vegas. They were pro-Cena last night at WrestleMania in the main event. They were pro-Cena on Friday night on SmackDown. Cody was booed on Friday, on Sunday, and if he was out there tonight, he would have absolutely got booed for a third straight night. But a lot of people are now wondering, what does that mean for Cody Rhodes? I don't really think it means much of anything. This is the smartest mark crowd that WWE will be presenting in front of, entertaining in front of all year. These people are looking for things to instantly pick apart. These people are the smartest marks that attend any WWE show. So when they go to Kansas City next week, I think it'll be right back to normal for WWE and Cody Rhodes. Or on Friday, wherever they may be on Friday. I think it'll go right back to normal. I don't think Cody Rhodes is going to be booed like he was in Las Vegas. I mean, I would be shocked if it is going to continue. But this is the same thing that happened in AEW. And he didn't like it. He did everything to battle against it. So I don't know if WWE fans are going to boot Cody Rhodes. I don't think WWE is even going to acknowledge that. I think they'll just keep Cody Rhodes on the straight and narrow and where he needs to be. I do not think personally turning Cody Rhodes heel at all is the right move. So I don't think this is going to be a problem for WWE, but fans in Vegas, they were very pro Cena and not very much pro Cody Rhodes. He said just because they showed up in a good mood, he can still tell them to go straight to hell. Every one of them owes him an apology, and they don't have the courage to do it. He says they show up with a sacred ticket, and this is the event where they tried to take control of the show. You love to hijack this very show every single year, but you all have gone soft. So there was a "We are sorry" chant from Las Vegas. We are sorry. John Cena absolutely blasted the biggest babyface in the company 6 weeks ago, turned heel in one of the most monumental moments that this company has seen. Fans booed him vehemently for doing so. And John Cena showed up after winning the WWE Championship from the biggest babyface in the company. And fans in Vegas are chanting, "We are sorry" at John Cena. We are sorry for booing you to John Cena. It's a weird fucking fan base, man. It's a weird fan base. McAfee said an olive branch from the WWE Universe to John Cena. He told the fans at home that chant was, "We aren't sorry." So John Cena flipped the script. They were chanting, "We are sorry." Cena said, "No, it's we aren't sorry." He said, "The lowlives are in Vegas. You all are lowlives." He said, "The sorriest part is they don't mean anything to him. You are sorry." Then fans chanted, "Asshole. Asshole." I love it. He says he may be an anus, but they are a group of idiots. For 25 years, they called him so much worse. He says he has taken their best shot and always gotten back up. So what makes you think that this crowd will be the crowd that cracks me? Their noses, or their noise, noses, typo in my notes. Their noise, not talking about Triple H's nose. Their noise means nothing to him. He pointed at the big screen that said John Cena on one side and then 36 dates. The number 36 was written on the other screen. They had the 3 screen set up at the T-Mobile Arena. One screen on the left, one screen on the right, and then a screen in the center. John Cena on one side, 36 dates on the other side. He says at the beginning of the year, he said he'd work 36 dates and then be gone at the end of the year. Time passes. He listed the dates and the locations of his appearance so far and ran down all the cities that he's been. He mentioned Las Vegas 3 times. He mentioned Vegas on Friday. He mentioned Vegas on Sunday. And he mentioned Vegas tonight. He mentioned all of the cities that they went and ventured into on the European tour. He mentioned Toronto. He mentioned Indianapolis at the Royal Rumble. He counted down to 27 dates. He says that's 27 appearances. Not matches, appearances. Fans booed. John Cena then went on to say, "You say I can't wrestle. I don't have to. I can just show up and do this," meaning what he's doing here tonight. He says, "When the countdown hits 0, the professional wrestling timeline stops cold." He says he is not stupid like them. He says he knows there will be another Raw and they will decide another champion. But the title held by Bruno Sammartino, Roman Reigns for over 1,000 days, CM Punk, The Game, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That title comes home with me. No mention of The Rock. No mention of Cody. No mention of either one of those guys. He says he's getting to the hard part. Hard part's over with. He's gotten through the hard part, and the rest is a fucking cakewalk. Getting the title was the hardest part. The rest, it's fucking easy. He says he just has to keep playing them like the puppets that they are. The best chance they had to save themselves was Cody Rhodes. He says they booed him on Friday, cheered him on Friday, and then cheered him on Sunday, and then booed him on Sunday. He said the man they all put on his shoulders last year because he finished his story, that man now disgusts you. He says that's what's wrong with you, and that's what's wrong with all of this. He said Cody was flat out outclassed and out-wrestled, outshined, and flat out destroyed on Sunday. He says it's time they take a bold look in the mirror. He said the truth is there is no one in the WWE with the strength, speed, wisdom, or the ruthless aggression of him. Unlike them, he has a heart. And he said he wanted to do something nice for them. John Cena then told the fans in Las Vegas to take out their cameras because they are going to want to remember this particular moment. He held the belt up and said, the last real champ is here. And as soon as he held up the championship, he turned around. He mumbled, oh shit, into the microphone. And before he could even blink, he was laying flat on his back after an RKO. Because Randy Orton showed up, slithered up behind him, and licked his chops, waited for the perfect moment, and delivered an RKO to John Cena to end the segment. He picked up the title. He admired it. He picked up the belt and held it up. And Randy Orton called his shot weeks ago when Cody Rhodes was still the WWE champion. Now that Cody is not the champion, he has his eyes set on John Cena and the WWE Championship. Ruthless aggression. Going right back to that feud that seemed like it was never ending. One of his greatest rivals of all time in Randy Orton. In 2025, the script is flipped. Cena is a heel, Orton is a babyface. When this happened last time, it was reversed. The rumor is now a reality. Randy Orton, St. Louis, he's on the poster. Randy Orton, St. Louis, May 10th, WWE Championship match, Orton versus Cena in the main event. I'm not really giving it too much hope on being a good match after what we got with fucking Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. The excuses that I heard all day in regards to John Cena, I think people are really losing the plot here. I think people are really trying to convince themselves that this is the right way and that this is what is supposed to be. And whatever happened on Sunday night was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be that way. Nobody had a problem with John Cena winning the championship. I think the majority of the people polled. I think the majority of the creators who do what I do had either A, wanted Cena to win, predicted Cena to win, or both. John Cena holding the WWE Championship, no matter how you slice it, was the right creative move. For one reason and one reason only. Because that story coming out of the chamber needed the ultimate payoff. You can't have John Cena sell his soul and become The Rock's champion without him winning the championship. He needed to win. Cody's kingdom was built at 40. Cody's kingdom crumbled at 41. That doesn't mean the kingdom can't be rebuilt. I'm assuming he'll get the championship back. That's not the last time Cody Rhodes is going to be a WWE champion. Whether you liked him or not, he will hold that championship again. I don't think people had a problem with John Cena being the champion. It set up everything to come. We were already given glimpses of what's to come. Orton was just the beginning. CM Punk made mention of both Cena and Dwayne. You know Punk and Cena are going to cross paths this year, whether it's at Money in the Bank, whether it's at SummerSlam, Survivor Series, they will be in a ring together. Nobody had a problem with Cena winning the belt. Everybody had a problem with the way Cena won the championship. It may not be the worst WrestleMania main event of all time, but if you say it is, I'm not going to argue with you because it was pretty fucking bad. It was awful. The match itself was fucking a disaster. Cody Rhodes is so much better than what was depicted on Sunday night. People made excuses.
Oh, well, that's the way Cena works as a heel, JD, from New York 206.
That's great.
Oh, he's working a heel style, JD. He's working a methodical style, JD, from NY 206.
That's great. Go work a methodical style somewhere else. I don't want to hear methodical and John Cena in the same fucking sentence. Give me a break. Cody is so much better depicted than what we got on Sunday night. John Cena is not a good pro wrestler in 2025. Go back to what he did with Austin Theory. That match fucking blew. It was awful. And now we got him 2 years older in a ring with Cody Rhodes. And the match still fucking bombed. John Cena winning the championship was always the way to go. It was how we got him to get there. They failed. I don't give a fuck about Travis Scott. I don't give a shit how many downloads he has. I don't care how popular he is. I don't give a fuck. The only thing that I realize about Travis Scott is that he's responsible for fucking many deaths at a fucking festival that happened years ago. What was done then? So you trot this guy out on television, he smokes weed, he stands next to The Rock, he gets involved with Cody Rhodes, and now everybody thinks he should be a part and a fixture in this storyline. Nobody gives a fuck about Travis Scott. This is pro wrestling at the end of the day. This is your main event of the biggest professional wrestling event of the entire year. And Travis Scott is out there fucking helping John Cena win the WWE Championship. So now you put it in the record books for John Cena winning number 17. How? Travis Scott. Travis Scott. That's in the record books now. You can't unchange that. That's why people were upset. I can go back and fucking recount everything that happened from the Chamber, even before the Chamber, when Rock came out on TV and asked Cody to sell his soul. I could go back and I could fucking recount everything that happened and easily tell you none of that needed to happen. I could have sat here last night and said, why didn't John Cena turn heel at WrestleMania? Why did it have to happen at the Chamber? If The Rock was never going to show up on television leading up to WrestleMania and then not even bother to show up at WrestleMania, why did it need to happen the way that it did? Why couldn't we have gotten what we got at the Chamber? Why couldn't we have gotten that last night? I can go back and say all that, talk about all that. It does me no good. There is no fucking way that Travis Scott was the best plan of action for that main event of WrestleMania. And then people are trying to convince themselves that this is right. Oh, John Cena says he was going to ruin wrestling. It's all part of the vision. It's all part of the plan. Motherfucker, let me tell you something, man. You ain't as smart as me when it comes to this. This is why you don't have a fucking podcast. All these geeks, all these fucking faceless trolls on social media.
Oh, but John Cena said he was going to ruin wrestling, JD from NY. He just did what he said he was going to do.
There's a good thing there's a difference between saying what you're going to do as a heel and terrible writing. There's a difference between John Cena the heel and bad writing. John Cena can be a heel, and his narrative can be, I'm going to ruin pro wrestling. But write it in a way where it's actually fucking good. Here I am trying to convince these people that they're fucking wrong and that they can't differentiate the difference between John Cena the heel and good, bad, creative writing. Sorry, man, it doesn't work that way. You are not able, you're not allowed to use that excuse. I'm sorry. This is why I vehemently said, if Dwayne doesn't want to show up, then I'm going to need Dwayne to sit this one out for the foreseeable future. Don't even bother showing up. We haven't seen you since the Chamber, and this is the way things are transpiring now. No mention of The Rock. Rock is not there, hasn't shown up since March 1st. We haven't seen The Rock all WrestleMania season. I don't even think he was in Vegas. Yet they got fucking t-shirts with his likeness on it saying, The Rock has finally come back to Las Vegas. Where? Where? Did he get lost in the Grand Canyon? He wasn't in Vegas. He was fucking sitting on his island paradise in Maui, drinking his fucking tequila. Rock wasn't at the Hall of Fame. He wasn't there to see Triple H inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't want to get all conspiracy theory on you, man. I don't. But The Rock, I said this once, I'm going to say it again. If he's not going to commit, then we're going to need you to commit yourself the fuck out of here. Because all you're doing is ruining the fan base. All you're doing is bringing the fans to hope and dream that this story will continue because you put yourself in a position to tell this story and then you don't even bother to show up. How much political garbage is going on backstage that this main event went off and became one of the biggest disasters of a main event in WrestleMania history? How much political garbage is happening backstage that this was the best that you got? Because I said it last night. There is no possible way that you can convince me that Triple H and his team thought that that was the best ending to WrestleMania and that was the best way for Cody Rhodes to lose his championship. Was that an order given to them by Dwayne? Or are they that fucking bad at what they do? Did they wait for Dwayne? Was the idea of Dwayne in play? Did he say he was going to show up only to not show up? Is Dwayne fucking with WWE Creative? Is there a problem between Triple H and The Rock? Triple H gave a speech. The Rock was a part of Triple H's career more so than anybody. You know who was not mentioned in Triple H's Hall of Fame speech? Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson. He mentioned Mick Foley. He mentioned Steve Austin. He mentioned William Regal. He mentioned fucking Undertaker. He mentioned Vince McMahon, of all fucking people, but not Dwayne Johnson. Why? Is there more than meets the eye here? You know, I've heard every narrative under the sun in regards to John Cena winning the championship. Where's The Rock? Why isn't he there? Why isn't he on TV? How did he sell his soul? Why did he sell his soul to The Rock? Why isn't there a partnership here? Why is he not on TV when he's finally gotten his champion? Maybe there's something going on backstage that we have no fucking idea of and how bad it really is. I do not want to sit here and claim that Triple H is this fucking bad at his job. There are some people that will claim that he is. He's not. He is not. The people that say that, they are the biggest tribalists in the community. They don't like Triple H because they serve one master, and that's Tony Khan. Triple H is not that bad at his job. He's not perfect, and he's fucked up. He's fucked up, believe me. His shows have not been, the whole WrestleMania season has not been good. So I agree with them in that sense. But overall, I think Triple H is batting a nice average as far as what he's done coming out of last year's Mania, coming into this year's Mania. I think the averages average themselves out. He's not as bad as people are making him out to be. I cannot sit here and believe he is. That's not the best that they had. I think there are internal workings at play, and it all rests at the feet of Dwayne Johnson. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I heard rumblings, Brian Gewirtz, The Rock. This may please some people. I don't know how much power The Rock has. I don't know how much power Ari Emanuel has given The Rock. I don't know how much power he holds on the board of directors. I don't know what he feels and what he says and how he uses that on a day-to-day basis. I don't know how he is going to structure WWE in the years and months to come. But I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Just seeing how we've gotten so little of him this year, I would not be surprised if this is all done in a calculated, strategic way so that all these things come off as so terrible, especially this thing, instances like this. Triple H is going to fuck up on his own across the year. But situations like this, where he is supposed to be there, and The Rock doesn't show up, and all the blame gets placed on Triple H. And that happens and happens and happens strategically over the course of the year, the next year, the next year after that. I wonder how we are going to look at the WWE in 26 and 27 and beyond. When WWE is no longer with NBC Universal and they move completely everything all over to Netflix. I wonder what the shape of WWE is going to look like. Is Triple H still even going to be in charge as the chief content officer? That's what I want to know. Is this all being done by The Rock so that his company, $7 Productions, comes on in, has a major stake in WWE, and The Rock hires his own people to run the show, and Brian Gewirtz is writing this fucking show, and The Rock is leading the charge creatively as the owner of WWE. I don't want to speak in conspiracy theory, but I would not be surprised to see any of that, or at least some of that, happen in the next 5 years. Because there has to be a reason as to why he did what he did, and then ultimately decided not to show up. He wasn't filming a movie. He wasn't doing anything spectacular. He was on Instagram showcasing to the world, hey, I'm not at WrestleMania. You all wanted me to be there. You all expected me to be there. But I'm here drinking my fucking tequila on my hammock on my beautiful island paradise all by myself. And I'm sorry I went off in a completely different direction, in a completely different way on this tangent, but this shit has been sitting with me all day. The opinions of some in this community have angered me so much. Oh, John Cena's doing it because he told you what he was going to do. No, he didn't, motherfucker. I know what he told me. There's a way to do that and have it be good. There's a way to do that and have it be right. What they did on Sunday was not right. What they did on Sunday was fucking terrible. And what they did on Sunday was an embarrassment to the main event of WrestleMania. I don't want to sit here and point the finger of blame. And I know a lot of people blaming Triple H, and he should get the heat for what happened on Sunday night. But how much of that blame is also in the lap of Dwayne Johnson? No mention. No mention of it at all. So from this point on, we're not going to mention The Rock, because until he shows up back on television when he wants to fucking grace us with his presence, I don't think he's going to be a part of anything moving forward. You would think that he fits in like a fucking glove. He's got his champion. Rollins has been dressing like The Rock. Rollins has been doing mannerisms like The Rock. Paul Heyman has a direct access and a direct line to The Rock. You would think that he fits into everything. Rock and Roman, Rock and Punk, Punk mentioning Cena, Punk mentioning Rock, after the Chamber. The Rock fits into everything, yet he's not there. He's the invisible man. You don't think we're going to start asking as a fan base collectively why? If I'm Triple H, I'm just doing my own fucking thing, man. Fuck the outside noise. Fuck the outside noise. Book everything in regards to what you're doing without Dwayne's influence and without his inclusion. We can't wait. We cannot wait anymore. You're either in or you're out. I think the majority of us want him out. Because the more he's in and the more he thinks he wants to be in, the more he says he's going to be in, then fans are just going to get their hopes up, and the fans, 9 times out of 10, are going to get their fucking hopes crushed because he never shows up and things just constantly change in the world of Dwayne Johnson. I wish that wasn't the case. You would think that this is leading to some sort of supergroup. You would think that this is leading to Rock and Roman next year. You would think that this is leading to Rock and fucking Cody. I don't know. This promo from Cena was fucking great. The promo from Cena was great. Randy Orton challenging John Cena is going to work out in a very nice way. Not only is he going to stand behind and defend the honor of Cody Rhodes because he is Cody Rhodes' friend and he respects Cody Rhodes. He's a mentor to Cody Rhodes. He's now going to stand up to Cody Rhodes after what happened to Cody Rhodes. My question is, where is Cody Rhodes? Where does Cody Rhodes go next? He's almost certainly going to have to end up on Friday night if he didn't show up on Monday. We can't go a whole week with him losing the championship in the way that he did and we not hear from Cody Rhodes. He needs to be on the show Friday, first thing, up front and center. I do think, this is my prediction, I do think that Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are going to be on a collision course. I think Drew McIntyre and what we got out of Drew McIntyre, I think that is going to be the next plan for Cody Rhodes on the way to Backlash. I do. And I had to look it up. The last time they were on television, it was a face-to-face on the March 28th episode of Friday Night SmackDown. He interrupted Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And that face-to-face, that was the same segment that Randy Orton shot his shot and told Cody, no matter if it's you or Cena coming out of Mania, I'm coming after number 15. The March 28th edition of Friday Night SmackDown, Drew McIntyre interrupted both Orton and Cody Rhodes, and he went on to address Cody Rhodes to say, I remember 10 years ago how we were at the bottom of the card and would do anything to get back to the top. Cody, you sold your soul a long time ago. I don't remember what he said previously, even before that. He tried to be buddy-buddy with Cody Rhodes. He tried to basically befriend Cody Rhodes, knowing that he probably had danger coming his way, and he wanted to warn him of that, whether that meant The Rock or something else or him. I do think Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are going to be on a collision course. We could see that potentially set up on Friday. They may leave Cody off the show completely at Backlash. Being that we got Randy versus Cena, and then we potentially are looking at Roman Reigns and CM Punk teaming up against Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes might not be needed on that show. They may just save him for whatever's coming next. So we don't know. He could very well win Money in the Bank for all we know. But if I was to make a logical guess as to where Cody Rhodes went next, my first line of thinking would be Drew McIntyre. We'll see what happens there. But this segment was great. Cena's promo was fucking great. The stench and the bad taste of what happened on Sunday night is still very much present in everybody's mouth. They are going to need to wipe that shit away. They're going to need to cleanse their mouth very quickly of what happened on Sunday night. And I urge you, do not let them live that down. If you have an opinion, voice it. If you have social media, tag them, tweet them. It was awful, and they need to know it was awful. Again, I don't know how much say Triple H had in what happened. He finalizes everything. I don't know how much Dwayne was going to be a part of. Was he going to be there? Was he not going to be there? How much of it did they book thinking that he was going to be included, only for him to say, you know what, I'm not going to show up, and then things got fucking completely turned upside down. It's a bad, bad, bad look. And that main event was fucking awful. I'm hoping that Randy and Cena at Backlash can wash that bad taste out of our WrestleMania mouths. They plugged Money in the Bank at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. WWE has this thing, man. I can't fucking stand it. I know you guys are feeling the same way about it. I can't fucking stand it. Where they show the celebrities in the front row, man. I don't give a fuck who's in the front row. I don't care. Stop showing me these fucking irrelevant people. Gabriel Iglesias. We got Rana Bagubadi. I don't know who the fuck these people are. Who are they? Gabriel Iglesias, I know. I don't care. The way WWE is fucking Hollywooding it up, celebritying Monday Night Raw, and these papers, I can't take it, man. It's so fucking lame. It really is. Trying to be something, pretending to be something that they are not. Stop. Really, it's just a bad vibe, and it's an instant turnoff to me. It really is. Then they show Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan sitting at ringside. They're sitting at ringside because they are going to be challenging the winner of the upcoming match next for the Women's Tag Team Championships. It's either going to be Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, or Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So they ran this match back. This was the open of the Raw After Mania. They ran this match back in a rematch from WrestleMania. Now, the WrestleMania match went about 8 minutes or so. And this match was a lot better. They got extra time here. They went about 12 minutes. And I felt like this match was a lot better than what we got at WrestleMania. The only difference is Becky and Lyra walked in as champions tonight. They did not walk in as champions on Sunday night. Becky took Bayley's spot. The rumor of Becky Hogan, the speculation, and the bad mouth faith narrative on Becky Lynch on social media, that was being spewed all over social media, on Twitter and the IWC. Becky Hogan. She came back, immediately won a championship. She's been out since May of 2024. First show back, WrestleMania, she wins a championship. Becky Hogan. Mercedes Hogan. Everybody who comes back and fucking pushes their political ideas and gets ahead over everybody else, they're immediately so-and-so Hogan. Gotta love it. I don't blame you people for feeling that way. Now, I didn't make a big deal about it last night because at the end of the day, guys, it is the women's tag team titles, and we know how irrelevant they are. The Rock is going to be on Pat McAfee's show tomorrow. Oh, my goodness. Are you fucking kidding me? The Rock is going to be on Pat McAfee's show tomorrow at noon. You got to be fucking kidding me, man. Man, that is... I don't know, where is McAfee still going to be in Vegas? Or is he going back to Indianapolis? Man, that's ridiculous. You can't be bothered to show up at WrestleMania, but you'll sit down with Pat McAfee. It may be via satellite. Hologram says it may be via satellite. We don't know. Regardless, he's making an appearance. He's showing his face. They will be in Indy. Okay. I don't know how Pat McAfee's going to do the interview. He got choked out by Gunther tonight. We'll get there a little bit later. But this Women's Tag Team Championship match took place to open the Raw After Mania this year. And like I said, this was a lot better than their WrestleMania match. I don't know why we were getting this again, but by the end of the match, we then knew why we got this rematch tonight. So the heels beat up Lyra. They go through a commercial break. Becky Lynch gets the hot tag as soon as we come back from commercial break. Liv Morgan caught her with a code breaker, but Becky Lynch blocked Oblivion and hit the manhandle slam on Liv Morgan. That won the match last night. This time, tonight, Rodriguez broke up the cover. Becky Lynch and Lyra tried a double superplex on Raquel. Morgan brought Lynch down with a power bomb before Raquel gave Lyra a power bomb off the middle rope, and she went for a cover and got a 2 count. Everybody was down. We got chants of "this is awesome." It did get awesome down the stretch, I will admit. This was a lot better than what they did at WrestleMania. Lyra hits a very sloppy-looking tornado DDT on Raquel Rodriguez because she just looks like a lumbering fool every time she takes a move like that. And she hit Nightwing on Raquel, which looked very impressive. Morgan was on the outside, saw Raquel was in Nightwing, pinned, and she put Raquel's foot on the bottom rope. Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan brawled on the outside before Lyra dropped Morgan with a baseball slide through the ropes. Raquel smashed Lyra with a big boot, almost took her head off, goes for a cover, gets a near fall. Rodriguez powerbombed Morgan onto Lyra, but Lyra dumped Rodriguez from the ring. Lyra blocked Morgan's Oblivion and set Liv up for Nightwing. Raquel then grabbed Lyra to block her from doing it. Becky then tried making the save, and Rodriguez took her out on the outside. Lyra knocked Rodriguez off the apron. Morgan took advantage with Lyra's back turned, caught her when she turned around with Oblivion. 1, 2, 3. And Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are now 4-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I wonder how much Triple H actually listened to the internet wrestling community after coming out of last night's show and then on into this morning and this afternoon with all the people talking about how Becky Hogan took the title from Liv Morgan and how Becky Hogan used her power to take Bayley's WrestleMania spot when Bayley's not even legitimately hurt. I wonder how much of that played a role into a decision like this tonight. They won the championships last night, and 24 hours later, they lost the championships. Okay. Now, last night, we talked about how Becky replaced Bayley, and we all saw what happened with Bayley. It looked like Bayley was eyeing the Intercontinental Championship, and it looked like Bayley could be set up for a future heel turn on Lyra, which would have been great because I feel like Bayley needs a heel turn, and I thought Bayley did some great work as a heel. And then we would get a Bayley versus Lyra feud for the Intercontinental Championship with Bayley being a great heel to Lyra's babyface and Lyra finally getting over. Working that babyface underdog style. That's the vision. That was the vision. Then Bayley got taken out on Saturday night. Becky returns on Sunday to take Lyra to the Tag Team Championships over Liv and Raquel. And Bayley is now looking at time off per storyline because she's got an injury. WWE opted for Becky here to do what Bayley was planned to do. And that was turn heel. Becky Lynch turned on Lyra after the match. She hugged her and then dropped her with a clothesline, turning heel on Lyra. Becky was livid at Lyra for failing them tonight and losing the tag team championships. And then she attacked her again. Lyra couldn't defend herself. She was getting punches thrown at her as Becky mounted Lyra and started using some ground and pound. Becky then leaves the ring. She then comes back. Lyra gets to her feet. She dropped Lyra with consecutive manhandle slams. The crowd honestly chanted one more time, and Becky again delivered a manhandle slam. Obviously, fans in Vegas want what they want. I don't know how much of that benefited Lyra, but Becky turned heel and the crowd was chanting one more time for the heel to destroy the babyface. Yeah, that really makes sense. Vegas may be drunk. Too drunk after this weekend. I want to start off with the good. Normally, I'm someone that starts off with the bad. I start off with the negative. I want to start off with the good here. the first thing that came into my mind, seeing that Rollins and Paul Heyman were now in some sort of partnership and alliance, the first thing that I thought of is Becky's husband is now a heel. How likely is it for Becky to join her husband and be the first ever Paul Heyman girl? I actually like the sound of that. I like the thought of that. How likely that is, I don't know. We could still very well see that. I don't know. I don't put anything past Paul Heyman. If he wants something to happen, more than likely they will entrust Paul Heyman with something like that. Bayley is not Becky. I think we all understand that. I think Becky's star power shines brighter than Bayley. Bayley is one of the original 4 horsewomen. Through the course of history, Bayley has always been treated as the lesser of the horsewomen. It was always Charlotte first, and then Becky second, and then Becky just absolutely skyrocketed her career, and then it was Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley. That's the way the order was. Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley. Bayley was always last in their eyes. Bayley was always the weakest of the horsewomen. Bayley might have been the most respected of the horsewomen. No matter if she was a babyface or a heel, the fans just loved Bayley. They never wavered. Even when she was a heel, she was still cheered. I'm talking, Matt, I'm talking about in WWE, brother. I'm not talking about WCW. I'm talking about WWE. Medusa. Medusa was the first Paul Heyman girl in WCW. Talking about I wasn't even thinking about WCW. I'm talking about specifically WWE. Should have been Ronda. Honestly, should have been Ronda. Bayley was always the fourth wheel. In WWE's eyes, she was always the weakest of the horsewomen. Becky's star shines brighter. So in my eyes, you look at Becky turning heel against a babyface Lyra, that's where it's going to go. That's what I see happening here. I could see Becky and Lyra eventually for the Intercontinental Championship, which they may be setting up for Backlash. I mean, the name of the show actually fits what happened here and the championship being on the line. Becky take the belt from Lyra, and then Becky and Bayley feud because it's going to be revealed that Becky attacked Bayley because the only reason why she did what she did tonight would be to take out Bayley in the process. So I'm assuming that Becky took out Bayley. I think that's pretty certain. So Becky, Lyra, Becky, Bayley, and then Lyra eventually taking the belt back from Becky. And hopefully Lyra's star will be a lot brighter for it. Becky's going to have to be a very, very good heel to babyface Lyra. This is WWE's chance. This is their plan. Because I know they like Lyra. They're high on Lyra to get her where she needs to be. Bayley might not have been the best choice in their eyes. They might not have trusted Bayley with that to do the deed. But they seemingly fast-track things for Becky to return, to take Bayley's spot, which it looked like Bayley and Lyra were going to go at it for the title, replace Bayley with Becky, and put Becky in that spot to get Lyra over. It's fucked up, but I could see why WWE did it. And that works. If they go in that order, if they go, and that's the plan, that could work. So I do like that. Lyra's going to need a heel to work with. Right now, there's no credible heels for the women's championship, for the women's Intercontinental Championship. So that's what they're doing. The bed. WWE did not give this enough time to actually manifest. They didn't give this enough time for it to be substantial and important. So when I first looked at this, honestly, from me to you, I felt nothing. I did not care. I did not act surprised. I did not, oh my God. I felt nothing when Becky turned heel because the way that I feel about Charlotte, I feel about Becky. Now, Becky's great. Becky is influential. But Becky is also very political, just like Charlotte. Thus why we got what we got this weekend. She could have come back at any point. She wanted to come back when Bayley had her WrestleMania match all lined up. Becky could have showed up 4 weeks ago. She opted to show up at WrestleMania because fuck everybody else. I'm Becky Lynch. That's what happened. To me, this felt forced. Incredibly, incredibly forced. I felt nothing. But the vision is the vision. Becky Lyra for the title, Becky Bayley, and then Becky dropping the title back to Lyra. That's the vision. But man, oh man, the first thing that I thought of was, Jesus Christ, this is so fucking forced. So forced. How is Becky going to operate as a heel? What is she going to do differently? I like that Triple H is taking a chance on Becky Lynch to go heel. But out of everybody on that roster, Becky Lynch needs the heel turn right now? Can't turn everybody heel. We're talking about Becky turning heel, Bayley turning heel, Bianca turning heel. We'll see how it plays out, but I did not immediately take to the decision to turn Becky heel tonight. I thought it came off incredibly forced. New Day. They walked through the back, stopped for a moment. They saw Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross made waves in the IWC tonight because of a promo that he cut on the Sam Roberts podcast and the Raw Recap podcast. He sat down and for 3 minutes, he mentioned AJ Styles by his real name, calling him Alan, blasting him for not using the brass knuckles, calling everybody in WWE out, and basically saying all the suits and ties that sit in the production truck, he basically told them to go fuck themselves. That's what he told them. He mentioned the story about Bill Goldberg. Be a company guy. Be a good soldier. Being a good soldier got him what exactly? Look at where he is. Not on the WrestleMania card. Nobody's talking about him. Not in anything important. If you guys want to go see what he said, I have tweeted it out on my Twitter page. Go check it out. It was legitimately the best thing that Killer Kross, he even mentions his name by Killer Kross. It's the best thing that Karrion Kross has done on WWE television since he came back to the company. It may be the best thing that he has done with the WWE, with a WWE logo attached to it. He sounded fucking great. To a point where people are now clearly on his side. My tweet today went viral. It did 10,000 likes, over 600,000 views. Karrion Kross and the movement of Kross to get him on television and to put him in something meaningful is growing hour by hour on social media, coming out of this Raw Recap show with Sam Roberts. I don't know what WWE's doing, but man, they got something there. If they want to fucking do something with it and utilize it, I don't know if that was supposed to be the way that it was. If you look closely and watch closely, his wife Scarlett tapped him on the shoulder, called him by his real name, and basically said enough. And he said, no, this needs to be said. It was one of those promos that you could not really tell if it was a work or a shoot. It definitely blurred the line so good that you couldn't tell what it was. It was basically his Miz on Talking Smack. That's what it was. And look at what that promo did for Miz when he cut it. I mean, everybody, even to this day, when that is mentioned, people still talk about that being the best Miz promo ever. Look at what it did for Miz in that time period where he cut that promo. This is the same thing. This is Kross's time. This needs to take Kross to whatever the next level is on WWE television. He was on the show tonight. Not only in this segment, he had a backstage segment with AJ Styles. So I'm hoping that we get more Kross. And when Kross actually was on screen with AJ, he got some great reaction. He got a great reaction last night when AJ and Logan Paul were in the ring. And he showed up to hand AJ the brass knuckles. So hopefully we are going to get more Karrion Kross. What I hope doesn't happen is that they release him and they give him his future endeavor. Because WWE is bringing in a lot of talent. They brought in Phoenix. They brought in Penta. They brought in who I'm going to talk about next, Malachi Black, Aleister Black is showing up on Friday night. I'm sure there will be more people that they will bring in. They just purchased the rights and acquired AAA. WWE is going to be in release season. We may be looking at a Black Friday sooner rather than later. Usually happens after WrestleMania. I hope Kross is not one of those because he's in a contract year. So keep an eye on that. They'd be fucking foolish. They would absolutely be a bunch of dumb fucking idiots if they released Kross. Brought him back to do what exactly? He wrestled last week on Raw. It was the first time that Kross wrestled on television since September of 2024. Awful. Awful. Yes, I every time I see Kross on television, I think of Kevin Castle. Kross even mentioned in that promo with Sam Roberts, I was in Vegas. I wasn't on the WrestleMania card. Do you know how many fucking funerals I missed and birthday parties I missed to fucking be here and do nothing? So he was backstage with the New Day. He's integrated in all these different storylines. New Day come out. They get in the ring. They got microphones. Xavier Woods told us to get on our knees and thank God for the New Day. Kofi Kingston said there was no team, alive or dead, who were better than them. I don't know how you guys felt, but when he said that, I swear to God, I thought Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom were going to come out. I thought they were going to get the call up tonight. I thought this was the spot they were going to get for their call up on Monday Night Raw. Instead of Fraxium, we got Alpha Academy, Otis, and Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree, who actually cut a pretty decent promo here. I don't know who's been teaching Maxine some promo skills, but she sounded very good on the microphone. She would be a much better valet and manager than she would be an in-ring performer. She told the New Day to put the titles on the line tonight against her boys. Woods said no. No. Dupree asked if the Minutemen were scared. Why would they be scared? That was enough to convince New Day because Kingston accepted a match with Otis and Tozawa. This wasn't really feeling like a Raw after Mania. Wasn't really feeling like a Raw after Mania here, man. Referee ran out. Both teams got ready. All of a sudden, the lights went out. And all of a sudden, Rusev showed up. Miro. In AEW. Remember him? Yeah, he's back here now. He's no longer in Guantanamo Bay. He's back as Rusev. He got a new theme, which I actually quite liked. I knew they had to Def Rebel him up, so they did, but it's actually pretty good. He comes on out, new theme. Rusev looks fucking phenomenal. He looks fantastic. New Day bailed as Rusev hit the ring. Rusev laid out Otis and Tozawa. Otis fired up. He took his shirt off. Rusev dropped him with a thrust kick and put him in the game over, or what he used to call in WWE the accolade. I like game over better, but we're just going completely back to everything Rusev here. This was the first time in 5 years that Rusev showed up in WWE. We got some Rusev Day chants. That's going to have to be taught over time. That's going to grow in strength and in numbers over the weeks and months to come. Give it time. He got a very good reaction here. And that was basically the end of the segment. He took care of Otis. He took care of Tozawa. New Day ran away. Again, I want to start off with something positive. Rusev looks phenomenal. Happy to see him back. I think he's going to add a lot on Monday Night Raw, especially in the mid-card for the Intercontinental Championship. I can't wait to see Rusev and Bronson Reed tear it down. I know you guys are wanting that match as well, man. That's going to be on the top of the list for matches when Bronson Reed gets back. I think Rusev is going to add a lot. I do. I do find that this return, though I expected it tonight, everybody thought that he was going to show up and wrestle Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I don't know why people thought that. Why would you want to introduce him after 5 years to ultimately lose a match in his return to Randy Orton when Randy Orton needed someone to beat so that he could show up on Monday and challenge for the WWE Championship? He didn't need some fucking 20-minute mat technical classic at WrestleMania. He needed someone to fucking beat quick, RKO, and move on. That spot was never meant for Rusev, so I don't know why people expected him to show up last night. The return and having him return in this spot was very bizarre. Now, I get it. You needed him to look dominant. You needed him to look strong. You needed him to throw around some bodies, and he's macho. What he used to say? Crush. Right? Game over. And just show up and just fucking show us what he's really made of. Bring us back to what Rusev used to do. Still doesn't make it any less bizarre. Is he going to feud with the New Day? Did he just simply come out there to beat up these two jobbers and chase off the New Day? Is he going to get into a feud with the New Day? Is he feuding with Otis? What about my idea? Rusev Crush, yes. What about my idea? What exactly are they doing with Sheamus? What exactly are they doing with the Celtic Warrior? Anything? Does anybody know where Sheamus is? Is he making YouTube videos? Celtic Warrior workouts? Is he strictly a YouTube content creator now? Where is he? He made such a big deal about going after the Intercontinental Championship. Where is he? I'm assuming that story will wrap up before he retires. I'm assuming it will. I mean, it's a great story to tell. It's got to be against the right guy, though. He's seemingly on the back of a milk carton somewhere. You know, Rusev and Sheamus, they basically live in the same town. From what I gather on social media, they either live in the same town, the same county, they're neighbors. They live in Tennessee, good old Tennessee. Why don't we get Rusev and Sheamus as a tag team in an overly depleted tag team division? Can you imagine them? New Day's going to need a babyface team to go after. I think that sounds like a great idea. Rusev can do the tag team thing and still work a single. So can Sheamus. But why not get them together in some sort of fucking group? Have them go after the tag team championships. Give them a meaning. Give them a reason. Tag team division can use it too. I'm not saying make it a permanent fixture, but I actually like the sound of that. Yes, the League of Nations. Listen, man, the Bar was one of the best tag teams in their era. Don't even fucking complain that I threw that out there. Don't at me. Don't complain. Sheamus and Cesaro were a fucking great tag team. Cesaro and Jack Swagger were a great tag team, but then they got two over and Vince killed it because he never meant them to get over the way that they did. Sheamus and Cesaro were a great fucking tag team. So why not do the same thing with Rusev? Instead of having him float in the middle of nothing and use the typical fucking creator for someone his size. Oh, we'll just put him against Otis. Oh, we'll just put him against Omos. Oh, we'll just put him against Bronson Reed. Oh, we'll just put him against all the guys that look like him. We'll be slapping meat on Raw. Pause. That's very, very stereotypical. Why not do the tag team thing with Sheamus? New Day's going to need a heel tag team to work against. I don't really see any other heel tag team on Monday night. And we need a spark to that division because the tag team division on both shows is fucking offensive. I actually like the sound of that. Let's do it. So Rusev is back with WWE. It looks like he will be placed squarely on the Raw brand. Judgment Day. They celebrated in the back with their titles. Liv has her championship back. Raquel and Liv are tag team champions. Dominic is the Intercontinental Champion. Finn Balor entered, got in Dominic's face. Morgan immediately tried to settle him down because he came in, steam coming out of his ears. He was pissed. He looked at the IC title. It looked like he was going to start a problem with Dominic Mysterio. Balor smiled and said, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." Balor said he would be with Dom tonight in his corner against Penta. Carlito did some comedy shtick where he was selling an injury from Bron Breakker in the spear last night. Balor also took a very, very hard look at the IC title. So you know Balor is still eyeing that title, and he's putting on a front. He wants to respect Dominic, but at the end of the day, he does not. Survivor Series 2025 was announced for Petco Park, Petco Field in San Diego, California. That is an outdoor stadium. WWE is taking Survivor Series to San Diego, outdoor baseball field. And the one thing that I noticed about the logo for Survivor Series, folks, is that War Games at this point in time was not promoted. All they said is it was San Diego Survivor Series, or look, the logo for Survivor Series was San Diego. That's it. No War Games likeness, no War Games logo, no War Games wording. I actually quite like that because, to be honest, between me and you guys, I think the War Games thing doesn't need to happen every year. I think you do it when it's necessary. We'll see how these alliances take shape at the end of the year. If we do have a team of 5 baby faces against Paul Heyman's alliance and maybe a mixture of that and The Rock's alliance or whoever else is joining Paul Heyman, we don't necessarily even need a War Games. That's just the stereotypical way of doing things. Survivor Series, War Games is here. We could take a break from it. We don't need to kill the gimmick every fucking year because you're going to run it into the ground. Survivor Series is here. It's time for War Games. No. This year, I think I would personally like to see them go back to a traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination or 4-on-4 elimination. So no War Games wording on the Survivor Series San Diego logo. We will see by the time we get to November. Io Sky. She comes out. She gets a very nice reaction after what was one of the best matches all weekend for WrestleMania weekend. Tremendous triple threat match between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. She said WrestleMania Sunday was the best night of her career. She said her win means she's the best, and now they won't ever forget her. Fans chanted, "You deserve it. You deserve it." All of a sudden, Stephanie Vaquer, her music hits on the PA system. Fans immediately erupt with excitement, and she walks out to the ring. The color blue never looked so good on the red brand. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I am going to say. If this show was centered around Stephanie wrestling for 3 hours, I would not mind it whatsoever. Stephanie's out there. She congratulated Io Sky. She introduced herself as the NXT Women's Champion. And she said she's La Primera. So the crowd chanted, La Primera. Stephanie called Io amazing. And she wanted to show her respect out here on Monday Night Raw tonight. Stephanie wanted to fight the best of the best. Really? That's great, man. Being that song is the unofficial theme of this very show. She wants to wrestle the best of the best of the best. There you go. I knew I loved that woman. I knew I loved that woman, man. Round of applause. Round of applause for... Io says she wants to fight the best. You got it. She accepts. I'm like, whoa. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So Io suggested they have a match right now. People cheered. Then they booed when Adam Pearce came out here because, Adam Pearce has a tendency to fuck things up from time to time. He asked if the fans want this match tonight. So he made it official for right now. I'm not going to complain about either of these women wrestling on the show, especially if it is together in the same ring. So we got Io Sky, the WWE Women's World Champion, against Stephanie Vaquer, who is the current NXT Women's Champion. This went 14 minutes. This was the best match on the entire show. And I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, this was a first-time match ever for Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky. They both wrestled in Japan, but I do not think that they've met. Not sure what Michael Cole said. They might have stated tonight that this was the first time ever match. So we got it. This is what is so great about Raw After Mania, man. You get stuff like this completely out of nowhere. And on this night, it is completely okay and completely warranted. Io got the better of the exchange with Stephanie after hitting a suicide dive. Stephanie followed with a dive off the barricade before they went to a commercial break. That means I had to be without Stephanie on television for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Seems like an eternity. So we get back from the break. Stephanie had control. Io comes back after the break, hits a signature missile drop kick. Stephanie avoided a moonsault, and she hit a deep dragon screw and a running Meteora on Io for a 2. Io then avoided Vaquer's finish, hit a double foot stomp for a 2 count of her own. Vaquer then did the signature Devil's Kiss, which I don't know if you guys saw Stephanie's reply to Charlotte doing it at WrestleMania on night 1 with Tiffany Stratton. But she clearly, and I'm glad she said it, because if I said it, I would be a sexist and I would be canceled tomorrow. But Stephanie said it. Stephanie said the reason why hers is better is because peach emoji. For all the cool kids out there. That's what she said. She said her Devil's Kiss is better than Charlotte's because of, and I quote, peach emoji. Tell me when Stephanie Vaquer is telling lies, folks. That's absolutely right? That's correct? If we got a problem with that, I got 2 words for you.
If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Yes. She's 100% factually correct. So she did Devil's Kiss. The crowd loved it so much they chanted one more time. She did not oblige. She did not oblige. Somewhere, Booker T is very depressed. Stephanie smiled because she knew why they wanted to see it. I mean, why did they want to see it again, chat? Why did they want to see it, man? Gee, I wonder why, man. Oh, my goodness. They traded counters until Stephanie applied a cradle for 2. Sky followed with a backbreaker for 2. Sky hit a German suplex, but before she could follow up, Stephanie hit her with a German. They went to the top. Io hits a Spanish fly. Sky set up for a running dropkick. All of a sudden, Roxanne Perez comes out of nowhere and causes a disqualification. The crowd booed, and they booed again, because not only was Roxanne out there, Julia was out there and attacked Stephanie Vaquer. The heels attacked the baby faces, and Rhea Ripley ran out to make the save. Rhea Ripley, who was sporting a very obvious black eye, she had a face-off with Perez. She took care of Perez and then had a face-off with Julia. They circled each other until Julia left the ring, and Julia ended up leaving with Roxanne Perez. Ripley handed Io her world title. She said she's still coming back for this championship when the time is right, and left the ring. Couple of obvious things here. Number one, Stephanie, Io, Rhea, Julia, Roxanne. I mean, if the women's division is not fucking stacked, I mean, you could not gather that type of talent if you dreamt it. That is ridiculous. Just look at those talents. Look at the names that were in this segment and say to yourself, that's a possible Raw women's division. Can you imagine that? So that's fucking unbelievably exciting just by the name value and the star power there. Number one. Number two, Stephanie, tonight, she's the NXT champion. I would not be surprised if this woman is called up by SummerSlam. I'm going to say it. This woman is fucking incredible. This woman is going to be on the main roster sooner, much sooner rather than later. She proved tonight that she's absolutely fucking primed and ready. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I get why they're waiting, but I really don't know why you're waiting. You could put her on the show fucking 2 weeks ago, and she fits in like a glove. She is tonight. She proved without a shadow of a doubt she's ready for the main roster. Without a shadow of a doubt. Stephanie is going to be the next woman. Telling you right now, mark it down, clip it, fucking bookmark this. Stephanie's going to be the next woman to main event a WrestleMania. Guarantee it. That is my guaranteed fucking prediction. She's going to be the first woman since the last time. What was it? Sasha and Bianca Belair. The next woman to main event a WrestleMania. Legitimately, last match of the show, close the show. She's going to be the next woman to main event WrestleMania. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. The reason why this segment, I was actually taken aback by this segment. I'm like, Stephanie, Io. Okay. What have we done as a fan base to deserve this match here on Monday Night Raw? We got two champions. We got the Women's World Champion, NXT Women's Champion. Then we see Roxanne and Julia. Roxanne is on the main roster. Julia is not. They're linked together. And then we got Rhea Ripley out there. The one thing that I thought of in regards to this segment is that WWE is getting ready to announce Evolution. WWE is getting ready to announce Evolution. I don't know what this means going into Backlash. We could see some mixture of this. Maybe WWE is getting everybody ready for Evolution, but I do think that you are starting to see the wheels in motion for WWE to announce Evolution 2 in the summer. I think July is rumored, July 7th. I think that is going to take place this summer, and WWE is getting ready to announce that. That's why you saw what you saw tonight and who you saw tonight. This was fucking great. Easily, besides the Bron Breakker alliance with Seth Rollins, this was easily the best thing on the show. Easily. This was great. More of the ladies like this on the show, and I would love to see more Devil's Kiss on Monday night. Pat McAfee announced that there were 19,262 people in attendance for Monday Night Raw. Unbelievable. Jey Uso. We got a unbelievable video package for Jey Uso. You knew WWE was going to go all out for Jey Uso as soon as he won the championship from Gunther. Music video hyped up Jey Uso's career. Title win on Saturday. Highlights of his weekend, highlights of his youth, highlights of his career. Just a tremendous video package. WWE's bread and butter is their video package and their media team. This resembled almost like Jey was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was so fucking good. Just a whole career retrospective on Jey Uso. Really celebrating where he started and where he is now. with the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey made his entrance to the crowd, celebrated with the audience, with the World Championship. Michael Cole tonight said no one gave Jey a chance, especially Gunther. He said Gunther, for his second year in a row at WrestleMania, lost to a massive underdog. Michael Cole said Gunther has to be hearing the whispers that he can't win the big one on the big stage. These are words that will come back to haunt Michael Cole. Fans chanted one more time as Jey did the thing. They played his theme. They yeeted again. A lot of yeeting. So he had new merch on. His t-shirt said, World Heavy Yeets Champion. I'm sure that is a #1 seller on WWEshop.com. Jey finally spoke. The World Heavyweight Champion is now in your city. Yeet. He said it was a long, hard road. He says he gave it his all, and he had to beat Gunther. And I made him tap. Fans chanted, he tapped out. He tapped out. He says he is grateful to finally have that on his shoulder. He says he'll show up every day and put the work in, like I always have. He asked if they were excited to see him as champ. If you are, say, yeet. They did. All 19,000 of them said yeet. Sami Zayn's music played. Sami came out. He relished in the reaction because he didn't get a WrestleMania match. He wasn't at WrestleMania. He was in Vegas. So he soaked up the crowd who sang his theme. McAfee said Sami put on a great performance at the WrestleMania roast with Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm hearing some good things came out of that. I hope they do it again next year. If they do, I'm going. Jey looked a bit miffed that Sami interrupted his moment. Why would Jey look a little taken aback by Sami Zayn? Maybe he didn't expect Sami to be out there. Sami stood on the top rope. He soaked up the fans singing his song. Happy to see Sami. Jey looked a little bit more confused here. His face turned to curiosity. He glared at Sami. When the music stopped, Sami moved in for a hug. Jey seemed relieved, but he was a little confused still. Fans chanted, Sami Uso. Sami then says, I have so much to say, I don't even know where to begin. He says it was tough not being there after all Jey was going through with Gunther. Obviously, he was selling the injuries from the Kevin Owens match at the Elimination Chamber. He says it was hard on him. He says it was also hard on him missing WrestleMania. He says that they are both game day players who don't do well on the sidelines. I do think Sami missed WrestleMania with the promise that he will win the Royal Rumble next year. Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi in 2026. My prediction early is Sami wins the Royal Rumble. I think that's going to be a tremendous moment. Who the champion is at that point, I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's Seth Rollins. He says he almost did not come to Las Vegas, but I had to. He said he had to because he had to make sure he was the first one to stand in the ring across from him, look him in the eye, man to man, with that title on his shoulder, and tell him how proud he is to win the championship. You're my brother. You're my oos. You're my dog. I love you. I am proud of you, and you deserve it. He said everyone in the arena knows he deserves it. We got a chant of you deserve it. Sami says he didn't want to get all sentimental. I promise you guys I was not tearing up during this segment. He says he wanted to celebrate, so hit his music, which they did. Jey smiled. He hugged Sami. They started to play to the crowd. They did yeets together. Sami stood in one corner. Jey stood in the other. Then there was this moment where Jey was standing on the top rope. He was yeeting. Sami was right behind him, only a few feet away, looking up at him. You, me, and everyone else. I know you in the chat watching me right now. One of the 5,700 people watching me right now, I know you thought the same thing that I thought. These fuckers are going to turn Sami Zayn heel on Jey Uso. Ultimately, thankfully, they did not. They did not turn him heel. Jimmy Uso came out. They all hugged. They danced to the back. The tension was there, but they did not follow up on it. Will they follow up on it? I don't think so. I don't think it's needed. I do not think it's necessary. I don't think turning Sami into a heel is the right move. I think keeping Sami a babyface and having him go into Saudi next year to win the Royal Rumble is the best way to go. But Jay's expressions and Sami's body language really got people on the edge of their seat. They really teased the hardcore fans with something that could potentially just explode. I mean, the story is clearly there, but why? Jealousy. I did not want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't think they do two major heel turns like that on the same night because we just got Becky turning heel as well. So why would they do that? It would take away from Becky's heel turn. So doing it on the same show would be counterproductive to what we've already seen. So I like that Sami's still a babyface. I hope that they keep them together. I don't know who Jey Uso's next opponent's going to be. We could be looking at Seth Rollins. We could be looking at Gunther. We could be looking at someone who might not even be on the fucking roster right now. We don't know. Someone called up from NXT. We don't know. Someone called over from SmackDown. Maybe they do a draft. We don't know. But right now, Jey doesn't have a clear direction for a number one contender. So we'll see how WWE follows up on that going into Backlash. But this was basically them giving you a career retrospective, hyping up Jey Uso even more so now that he's the champion, and getting his brother out there to celebrate with him once again. Really putting the stamp that he is officially, from this point on, you got to live with it, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We got more celebrities. Metro Boomin, Chelsea Gray, and Kaya Stokes from the WNBA, and Chase Briscoe from a Netflix series called Full Speed. Great. You know what I'm going to be watching on Netflix? Black Mirror. It's the only thing of interest I'm going to watch. And then after that, I got to catch up on The Last of Us, which some people have already asked me, JD, did you see episode 2 of The Last of Us? No, I have not. Let me save my tears for when something happens, which I already know because I played the fucking games. I know what happens. I don't think I'm ready for it to happen. I wasn't ready for it to happen when I played the fucking game. Logan Paul. He's interviewed by Kathy Kelly. She asked if he could have done it without his manager or Karrion Kross. Logan asked for the next question because that's all that mattered. He won. Why are you asking me these questions? All that matters is I won. He said the company knows he's the best and he's the future. He said he'll answer any call and can't wait to continue his WrestleMania winning streak. I had a thought. I know WWE is going to eventually add someone to the Paul Heyman alliance. Now, you guys might not like what's about to come out of my mouth, but we've seen it teased on more than one occasion. Could we potentially see Paul Heyman align with Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Logan Paul? How would you guys think Logan Paul would fit into an alliance with Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Bron Breakker? He's mentioned CM Punk. He's had interactions with Punk on more than one occasion. He's wrestled Roman. Could it be that if we don't have a draft and we don't have some shakeup, if Paul Heyman wanted to add another, could that be Logan Paul? Now, you guys are good? Okay. Some people think he would fit like a glove. Catlight said he would fit like a glove. He's better alone. Okay. I don't know. This is what I think about when I'm watching the show and I get ready for this podcast. You guys don't have to like it. I'm just throwing it out there as an idea that I had. You don't like it. You don't like it. It's fine. Just saying it could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. He's got nothing else to do. What else is he going to do? That's why I thought it. What else is he going to do? Is he going to challenge Jey Uso for the world title? Maybe. Maybe he goes after the IC title. Jackie Rodman interviewed Allen backstage. AJ Styles. He said it hurts that he lost, but he'll be okay. He said part of being phenomenal is bouncing back. Karrion Kross barged in with Scarlett, yelling like he did on the Sam Roberts podcast. He said by losing to Logan, he's legitimizing Logan Paul. AJ said he hated who he used to be. He hated who he used to see in the mirror, and he's never going back. Karrion wants him to be like he was when he wrestled Cody. He says he has taken those brass knucks. If he did, it would have meant nothing to him. He said, if he wants to be angry at the world, if Kross wants to be angry at the world, go solve that problem yourself. Styles walked away, and Karrion Kross said, maybe I will. I don't know if they're continuing the Kross-Styles feud, but more Kross on television. He's starting to get a sense that this may be his breakout. They need to follow up on what he did on the Sam Roberts Raw recap show. They need to follow up. They went to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee at ringside where they were talking about this new WWE Unreal series, this drama, this reality series coming to Netflix, which I'm interested in seeing. Even though it is a scripted reality series, I'd like to get a glimpse into what the WWE creative process is. They're breaking kayfabe by doing this, but some people might not give a shit. I actually like it. We'll see what happens. They're going to pull back the curtain on the creative in WWE. Now, only if we got that from AEW. We'll see how fucked up it is. After the break, we go to commercial break. We come back from the break. Gunther is all of a sudden leaning on the announce desk, yelling at Michael Cole and yelling at Pat McAfee. Michael Cole asked why he's upset. Why are you upset with us? We're just doing our job. Cole stood and said, he's out there doing his job. I'm not the one who tapped out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Not sure those were the wisest of words, Mr. Michael Cole. Pat McAfee then stood up. Gunther shoved Michael Cole, shoved Pat McAfee. Gunther then grabbed Michael Cole and put him in a sleeper hold. Now, he didn't get the sleeper hold completely on Michael Cole because Pat McAfee came around the table and fucking jumped on top of Gunther by punching him in the face. Gave him some sort of Superman punch. So, Gunther dropped Cole and he eyed Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee had his back turned. He started walking away from Gunther. Adam Pearce ran out and grabbed Gunther. Other officials tried to hold him back. Gunther broke free, took hold of McAfee, put him in a sleeper. His entire Pat McAfee show cast, who was sitting front row, jumped the barricade to go jump on Gunther. They were quickly taken out by officials and security. And Gunther locked in the sleeper on Pat McAfee right there on the floor in front of everybody. Pat McAfee was turning all different shades of blue. They tried to get Gunther off of McAfee. Pearce is yelling, let him go. Let him go. McAfee's crew in the front row, like I said, jumped in there. They got dispatched. Gunther finally released Pat McAfee and left. Michael Cole was out there. Petey Williams was out there. Shane Helms was out there. Adam Pearce was out there. Jason Jordan was out there. Security was out there. Fans are berating Gunther. You tapped out. You tapped out. McAfee stood up. He sold this beautifully. He starts fucking coughing everywhere. He's spitting up fucking shit. He tried to regain his consciousness. Fans then chanted for Pat McAfee. He was aided to the back. He starts slapping people's hands in the aisleway. And that is the end of the segment. This was fucking great. This entire segment was great. Gunther is so angry. He's so angry that Jey beat him. He's now going to target the commentary team because they're yeeting every week, and Michael Cole doing the fucking hand gesture with Jey Uso, Pat McAfee doing the thing on the table. These guys are marks for Jey Uso. Gunther's like, not only did I lose this championship to a guy who disrespects the fucking glorious ring mat that I step on every single week, I got these clowns out there ruining the whole vibe of my pro wrestling matches, ruining everything. So now he's taking his anger out on them. And it was great. You don't have a bigger cheerleader for Jey Uso every week than fucking Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. And he took out Pat McAfee because, honestly, Pat McAfee's more in shape than Michael Cole is. He can handle himself a little bit better than Michael Cole can. The thing is, personally, I'm not into a Gunther versus Pat McAfee match. I'm not. What happens there? Are they getting ready for Pat McAfee to go bye-bye and they need to write him off television? Is college football going to be starting up pretty soon? NFL draft is starting up pretty soon. He's going to be pretty busy. Is Pat McAfee going to be missing some television? Is this a way to write him off of television by using Gunther to take him out? Maybe. But do you find yourself interested in a Pat McAfee and Gunther match? I know I'm not. Why would I want to see that? There's only one way that ends, and that's Gunther destroying Pat McAfee. I do not want to see Pat McAfee getting offense on Gunther. After the way Gunther tapped out within seconds to Jey Uso, I don't want any of that to happen. I'm sorry. The fans may be into it. WWE may be into it. It may be a big viral moment for them. Fuck out of here. Nobody wants to see that. Anything that Gunther needs to do here, it should only be destroying Pat McAfee. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should be thinking with the logic of Gunther selling any offense for Pat McAfee. No, thank you. We can fucking dead that almost instantaneously. Regardless of how I feel and all the aspects of this potential match, maybe, this segment was great. Gunther will undoubtedly be suspended and fined. What he does next following the Jey Uso loss, I don't know. Having Gunther go on the warpath and just show this more brutal physical style, I love it. I thought this was a tremendously booked segment. WWE, when they do something like this that's out of character, that's unpredictable, you don't expect it, they do it fucking great. After this, Michael Cole went to the back. Adam Pearce said, bro, take the night off. You don't need to go out there. We got Joe Tess out there. Michael Cole said, I'm not going to let this bully stop me from doing my job. And he went back out there. They show Michael Cole walking back out there. He's fucking holding his throat. He's saying that he thinks Gunther broke his nose. We got the fans in Las Vegas. Michael Cole. I mean, this was a great segment. Great segment. Joe Tess took over the commentary. They replayed what happened with McAfee and Cole. He called it disgusting and unacceptable. They cut backstage to McAfee drinking water, trying to recover. He started coughing very, very violently. He was still red in the face from the sleeper. Michael Cole was right next to him. McAfee and his crew went into a room with him. Pearce told them to give him water. Cole asked, how can they do their jobs if they can't have opinions and have fun? Gee, I wonder. He says he won't let a bully not let him do his job. He turned back to the ring. Pearce said good for him. Michael Cole went back out there and joined Tess. Tess was very casual. He was dressed very casual because he didn't really expect to work on air tonight. So seeing Joe Test, this is just the way that I interpret it. Seeing Joe Test casual in a polo shirt, taking off his jacket. It was a very lax environment after that. He wasn't in his usual on-air attire. He was just very casual. And the idea of this not being the way that it was supposed to be was sold on live television. Attention to detail. Attention to detail. So they're out there now as the new team. McAfee's out. Dominic versus Penta. IC title match taking place here tonight. Surprised to see this match and the title defended already. This match went 8 minutes. Not very long at all. We pick it up after the commercial break. Dominic had control through a break. Penta came back after the break. It's a Canadian/Mexican destroyer. Balor tried to encourage Dom, who was in his corner. Dominic, he's in there with Penta. Penta wiped out Balor with a hurricanrana off the apron after he jumped on the apron. Carlito distracted the referee. And we got J.D. McDonough. I will not be calling him by any McDonald menu names because he's a fucking beast. J.D. McBeast is what we'll call him. He earned everybody's respect with what he did before he went out with injury. He shoved Penta off the top rope. He made his way back to Monday Night Raw. Dominic hit Penta with a 619 and a frog splash and pins Penta 1, 2, 3.
Oh, but JD, Penta lost again. Triple H is burying Penta. JD from NY 206.
Yes, because J.D. McDonough interfered. He got robbed. It's all right. He'll live. He's going to eventually be the Intercontinental Champion. Stop your whining. Morgan and Rodriguez join the rest of the Judgment Day in celebration. On the ramp, Balor seemed surprised to see McDonough back, and he reluctantly started celebrating with the rest of the group. Seth Rollins. He's out there with Paul Heyman. They entered to Rollins' usual theme music, which I did not expect Rollins to get new theme music, but he came out to his usual theme. Fans sang along because why wouldn't they? Rollins is in the ring. He stood there and he looked very stoic, looking into the heart camera. He waited for the fans to settle down. They started booing him. They didn't know really what to do out there, whether to boo him, whether to cheer him. It was like this weird mixture of boos and cheers. So Rollins just stood there. Then they started chanting for CM Punk. Then they started chanting for Roman Reigns. Then they chanted, "Fuck you, Heyman," which was bleeped out by Netflix, which I don't know why, because we're now nearing the Raw is War hour, and they're still bleeping out fuck on Netflix. I don't get it. Rollins says he took a wise man from Reigns and he stole CM Punk's best friend. He was the winner of the WrestleMania main event. That's all he said. He did not get any other words in because CM Punk walked out. He was in the middle of wrapping his hand with tape because he was ready to fucking fuck someone up. Punk attacked Rollins and got the better of their brawl. Punk then grabbed Heyman. Rollins grabbed Punk from behind, poked his eye out, and then gave him a curb stomp. Heyman says that they would conclude WrestleMania 41 weekend by propelling the news all the way to WrestleMania 42. There is a new, reigning, defending, undisputed, and by the way, the credits for the show had thrown itself up. They throw the credits up on screen. We see Lee Fitting and Triple H, executive producers. We see the trademark logo. Signature Triple H. I'm like, I hope that this show doesn't go off the air with just this. That would be fucking very lame. There is a new reigning, undisputed, number one top star in this entire industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins posed. Like I said, the credits were on the screen. The logo, the trademark logo was on the screen. The show looked to be ending. And then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns' music hit. Seth Rollins is ready to fight. He takes CM Punk. He dumps Punk on the outside. Roman Reigns comes down the aisle. He hits the ring and speared Rollins. And then he delivers a Superman punch to Paul Heyman. Reigns is in the corner. He does the big hoo-ah. He's about to spear Paul Heyman into oblivion. And out of nowhere, flying into the ring with a black hoodie on, Roman Reigns gets speared himself by the master of the spear, currently. The man under the hoodie revealed himself to be Bron Breakker. Rollins acts surprised. It was all a swerve. Punk got back in the ring. Breakker then speared Punk. Rollins laughs, and he embraces Bron Breakker. Breakker set up for a spear outside the ring, but Reigns punched him. Bron instead ran around the ring and speared Reigns through the timekeeper's barricade and leveled the entire barricade, crashing through the barricade with Roman Reigns. Bron held Reigns down and forced him to watch as Rollins curb stomped CM Punk again before he curb stomped Roman Reigns. Rollins, Breakker, and Heyman stood tall as the show ended. Paul Heyman kisses Bron Breakker on the forehead. Rollins embraces Bron Breakker by touching his forehead face to face with his. Rollins, Breakker, and Heyman stood tall as the show came to a close. They really needed to not only solidify a new star as the future, which we all knew was eventually going to be Bron Breakker. Not only did they need to solidify a new star, they needed to solidify a new act, or at least put into motion a new act on this show or in WWE in general. The Judgment Day is not the same since Rhea and Damian left. It's fine, but it's more about Balor Dominic than it is about them feuding with anybody. They got internal problems. They don't have problems with anybody else. Judgment Day is not where they should be, or not where they were. They are a shell of their former selves. Solo and his bloodline are no more. Roman and his bloodline basically are non-existent because they're all doing their own thing, and Roman is looking for whatever he feels he deserves. There is no one group that is overtaking the company. They needed something in the absence of these other groups that have run WWE television for so long to really now set themselves apart and say, we are the ones taking over this show. There's no better group than one led by Paul Heyman. Rollins' heel turn, Paul Heyman's betrayal was fucking perfect on night one. You add Bron Breakker, you cannot ask for a better associate to stand alongside Paul Heyman. That's two. We're already looking at Bron Breakker and Rollins versus Punk and Reigns. We're looking at a future Punk and Rollins match. We're looking at a future Punk and Breakker match. We're looking at a future Breakker and Reigns match. We're looking at a future Rollins and Reigns match. This is not it. Is this a new Dangerous Alliance? Is this going to be under a different name, but serve the same premise? Who else are they going to add? Are they going to add anybody else? This is why I mentioned it earlier in the show. Maybe they add a Logan Paul. Maybe they add somebody from NXT. Maybe they add a Trick Williams and call up a Trick Williams. Maybe they add an Ethan Page. Maybe they add somebody else to the group that would really fit. Maybe they have a draft. I know I see a lot of people saying Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is currently on SmackDown. They would have to move Drew McIntyre back to Monday Night Raw to get him affiliated with this group. Now, I don't know what they're doing because Roman Reigns is a SmackDown guy, and he's on Monday Night Raw, so I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Could they theoretically move Drew McIntyre over to Raw and just not really care about the brand split? They could do that. I mean, I'm going to need an explanation and a reason as to why it doesn't exist anymore. Drew McIntyre would fit like a glove. He would. His mission statement was to take out Roman Reigns. They all of a sudden dropped that. Are we going to see Paul Heyman eventually align himself with John Cena and whatever The Rock is doing? Again, I don't want to mention The Rock, but it fits so good I have to mention it. Because Punk himself called out both Cena and The Rock. And if this is going to be an ongoing war all year, are those paths going to cross? It works. It works if only Dwayne wants it to work. Because I actually like the idea. We got one part of what the community wanted. Rollins with Heyman. Is Heyman doing the bidding of The Rock? Is this something that The Rock is constructing and piecing together? I don't know. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. I'm going to reserve judgment and predictions and stop fantasy booking. You could not have asked for a better inclusion in whatever they're planning here than Bron Breakker. He lost the IC title on Sunday. He immediately is now in the main event, and you see where they are placing Bron Breakker in the hierarchy of WWE. You know he's going to eventually be the one to take down Rollins. You know he's eventually going to be the next big thing for Paul Heyman. He's going to be the new beast incarnate. How long is it going to take for him to get there? Because Rollins is leading the group. Rollins is the guy. Rollins is the mastermind. You and I and everybody else knows who watches a lot of pro wrestling that the rookie eventually is going to overtake the current leader. And making of a new star is what this is all about, and that's Bron Breakker. I thought Monday Night Raw was fucking fantastic. I enjoyed mostly everything on this show. Even the down points of Rusev and the way that they debuted him, it felt a little off. Becky Lynch and her heel turn felt a little forced. Other than that, I really enjoyed what they did tonight. I actually enjoyed this show more than I did night one of WrestleMania. And some of you may think that this is a better show than both nights of WrestleMania. I would not even argue with you, honestly. I thought Monday Night Raw killed it. They did exactly what they needed to do. They needed to wash that John Cena, Cody, Travis Scott bullshit out of our mouths and get us excited about what is to come. And they already set up Backlash beautifully tonight. Awesome. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. Please go and check out everything you might have missed this weekend. It is all on the homepage. I promise you it is well worth your time. We had some great streams this weekend. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to me tonight. We had upwards towards 6,300 people in here on a Monday night. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. And everybody watching on X, thank you guys as well. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. You guys know the deal, man. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. All you need to do is pay for the $5 shipping and handling, and you will be on your way to trying 1 month free of Blue Chew. Hit that thumbs up. We hit 2,000 likes. We still got 5,300 in here. If you guys are in the chat, if you guys are still with me and have not hit the thumbs up, let's try for 20. Goal would be 2,200 likes. Can we get another 200 likes? So if you guys are in the chat, have not done that, please do so. Super chats are open. They will remain open. We're going to get into them right now, actually. We got a lot of support tonight, so I'm going to read through all of this tonight. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. I did not realize YouTube had problems last night. They did. They did. I did not even see your super chats come through, brother. Tonight I saw them. Last night I did not. I would refresh the chat, and the super chats, half of them were showing and half of them were not. Michael also says, we're all good, JD. All is well, my friend. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Tone C with a $10 super chat. Between it being the busiest night and YouTube crashing, my super chat got lost. But I'd like to wish you and the OTS family a happy belated Easter and a happy 420 to my fellow smokers in the venue. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, YouTube was fucked up. They're normally fucked up, man, but the chat, it was certainly a lot busier than a normal night. So I apologize. These are things that I cannot avoid when we are looking at 8,000 plus in the chat. Appreciate you, Tone C. Best in the world, Matt with a 10. Hello and welcome back, Killer Kross, my old friend. It's been far too long. He and Scarlett deserve way better. Hopefully they do something with him, or he finds somewhere else to go and kicks ass. I do not think he's going anywhere. I hope that's the case. Boss Mo Jackson with a $4.99. Regardless of that trash main event, Many has the presence and cut a promo like Cena. His age was showing in that match. That RKO was awesome. And he says Sheamus should be up next soon for the IC title shot. I would pair him with Rusev, honestly. Gabriel Boss. Monet versus Athena on a freaking Dynamite on free TV in a 20-minute banger overshadowed the Io Bianca rematch that lasted only 14 minutes on a PLE JD. No, it did not. No, it did not. Io, Rhea, and Bianca destroyed Monet and Athena. What are you talking about? Come on, Gabriel. You know better than that. 14 minutes to 20 minutes. Meanwhile, half of the fucking match with Monet and Athena was a test of strength and them reversing maneuvers. Io, Rhea, and Bianca was so much more dynamic. And it was at WrestleMania. How do we even compare that to a fucking 2,500 seater in Boston on Dynamite? Come on now. Cody Snyder with a 5. I need a we need to talk moment with Punk and Roman. And at some point, Cody in the near future. I could see Cody for sure getting involved here. That's why I wish Seth turned and then attacked Cody on night 2. Arya, Benya with a 5. CM Punk, Finn Balor, and now Lyra all betrayed. This all leading up to NXT Mutiny. Is that the name of a show? Is NXT Mutiny a name of a show? I don't know. Boss Mo Jackson. Rusev Day, Rusev Day, Rusev Day. He's back. He is. Best in the world, Matt. $10 super chat. What a difference a year makes. Saw Stephanie Vaquer live at New Japan Pro Wrestling Windy City Ride in 2024 against AZM. And now she is the NXT Women's Champion on Raw. She really does deserve it. Wish her nothing but the best. Absolutely, Matt. Imagine she chose AEW, man. She'd be in catering with Camille. And we wouldn't be seeing that glorious Devil's Kiss on national television. Emmanuel with a $10 super chat. Please tell me that all of this Cena thing is not only for a fucking new belt. Because from his promo, I felt that was the direction. Io versus Stephanie just to show Charlotte we do not need her. Hashtag OTS for life. We do not need Charlotte Flair. At all. Jamel Turney with a $4.99. I was really hoping Sammy would beat the shit out of Jey, but no, we just got about 15 minutes of yeeting. Why do we want to see Sammy turn on Jey? Why do we want Sammy as a heel? I do not think that's the best move. Sidro with a 5. Dad is down at a car dealership looking for potential choices. Cargo space, he asks. Salesman says, car no do that. Cargo road. Get it? Cargo space. Car no do that. Cargo road. Thank you, Sidro. Hashtag lit raw. David. $100 super chat. Thank you, brother. Always appreciate David Thiering in the chat. Sidro with a 5. I have a friend who really hates living in Midwestern USA. She says she's in a constant state of misery. Missouri. Yeah, Sidro, maybe you need to go watch some Tony Hinchcliffe at the WrestleMania roast with jokes like that, bro. Come on now. Tony Brown. Tony Brown loves Stephanie Vaquer, he says, with a $4.99. JD, Stephanie is tongue-worthy for real. Do you agree? Oh, Tony Brown. Stephanie Vaquer is my favorite. That's all I'll say. You know, we were dealing in Tony time not too long ago, man. Now we're dealing in La Primera. Ryan Fairbairn with the $2 super chat. Triple H hit a home run for me tonight. 9.5 out of 10. Minimum, says Ryan. Thank you, brother. Vinny with a $9.99. Everyone can say what they want, but my opinion tonight and Tripp's Hall of Fame speech and not mentioning Dwayne after mentioning literally everyone proves that The Rock is to blame for that trash we got at WrestleMania. Listen, man, I know it may be dealing in the conspiracy theory aspect of it, but I'm right there with you. I refuse to believe that this is the way that they thought was best. Ricky, Ticky, Bobby, Lobby, Whoopin', Moppin'. $10 super chat. Just to reiterate, I think I said it wrong. Ricky, Ticky, Bobby, Lobby, Whoppin', Moppin' with a $10 super chat. After a dud ending to WrestleMania last night, WWE came out cooking. The alliance of Rollins, Bron Breakker, and Punk Roman having to team up to take them down is going to be money. Well, thank you, Ricky, Ticky, Bobby, Lobby, Whoppin', Moppin'. Appreciate you, brother. I don't know if that's Demeter Bullion disguised or what. I don't know. Ghost, 2629 with a 5. Triple H said bet. He's not perfect, but idiots asking for Vince back or TK foolishness need to stop. He cooked heavy and set up compelling TV for months. Yes, chat. Yes, chat. Yes, chat. I am fully aware. If I was to choose a top 2 in WWE, okay? Stephanie is by far and away my number 1. She ticks all the boxes. If I was to choose a number 2 in the company, I would go top 3. Here's a top 3 right now. Stephanie, Jada Parker, and Sol Ruka. That's the top 3 right there. Okay? Ghost. Thank you, brother. Ryan with a 2. Would love someone like Ethan Page to be added to this. I could see him on the main roster, man. Ethan Page has grown on me. Ethan Page has grown on me. Phantom, thank you, brother, for the $100 super chat. Sidro with a 5. After last night, horrible main event, Triple H redeemed himself on Raw. Guess you could say he's the one playing the Redeemer gimmick, not Rusev. Thank you, H. Yeah. WWE should really play into that Redeemer gimmick, man. I thought that was great. I hope they don't really comedy him up with the Rusev Crush. You know, that's... The Redeemer gimmick was solid. Liv is definitely in my top 5. Liv is in my top 5. I'd probably put Liv over Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka's number 4. Yeah. Sidro, thank you, brother. SHX with a 5. Imagine Bronson Reed joins with Paul, Seth, and Braun. Ooh. Man, is that something, man? I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Michelle Moran with a 2. Love the Seth Braun pairing. Imagine Drew with them. I can imagine. I can imagine. S. Morris with a 4.99. Austin Theory should be the Randy in Evolution 2. AB the Clown with a 5. I definitely see Drew McIntyre joining Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. I hope so. I think that would be fantastic. Donnie White with a 4.99. Great work this weekend. As always, JD telling it like it is. Rollins needs that World Heavyweight title back ASAP. The title needs to be in the best feud on Raw, unlike 2024. Sidro with a $2 super chat. Difference on Carlito and a pencil. A pencil draws. Yep. A pencil certainly does draw. more so than Carlito. Donnie White. Thank you, brother. Sidro. Thank you, man. Best in the world, Matt. Appreciate you with the $100 super chat, man. Batista, give me what I want. Absolutely. That tag team match is definitely going to happen, man. Backlash. I see it happening at Backlash. Steve-O with a 5. Raw After Mania made me forget about Dwayne. If he won't commit, he needs to stay as far away from the product as possible. I absolutely agree. By the way, guys, if you're in the chat and you like this hoodie, we have new merch. Link is in the description. In fact, I'm going to pin it right now in the live stream chat. I would really appreciate you guys go get your new t-shirt and new hoodie, man. I'm wearing this hoodie. I love this fucking hoodie, man. I really do. Legitimately the best feeling hoodie that I own right now. Go get your new merch, man. JD from NY 206. Steve-O, thank you, brother. Hidden Network. JD, are you jumping for joy seeing Stephanie Vaquer on Raw? Yes, I am. And a new Dangerous Alliance and Gunther segment were tremendous. Tremendous pieces of business, says Hidden Network. Absolutely. A. Jobson with a new membership. Thank you, brother. Chris Lloyd with a 10. Io vs. Stephanie Vaquer was fantastic. Heel Julia is a baddie. She is. Very much so. Io, Stephanie, Roxanne, Julia all feel like big deals. Worlds Collide and Evolution. We these women there? They will be at Evolution. No matter where Evolution is, those women will be there. Hidden Network, Jobson, and Chris Lloyd. Thank you, guys. Hollywood Eric with a 24 months. Happy 24 months in the venue. This was by far one of the best Raw After Manias in a long while. Keep up the great work, my tribal chief. Tasting the ones for you. Sidro with a $2 super chat. Where did Godfather get his entourage? Idaho. The fuck? The Joker's voice with a $5 super chat. Io and Stephanie Vaquer, take my money. Julia and Roxy duo, interesting. Women's division cooking. JMO Ginger, hail off the script family. Thank you, brother. Matt Eagle with a 199. Keep Dwayne away from Triple H's kitchen. I agree. Sidro, $5 super chat. 13 years ago, Battle of the Billionaires, Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon. In hindsight, Donald would have likely picked Umaga. Hashtag if you know, you know. It's not better than Steven Regal's Umang. What is it? What do you say? Umanga? Umanga? William Regal? RJ Nichols with a 2. How was the Raw main event segment better than WrestleMania? I don't know. Biggest WrestleMania match of the entire weekend, and the Raw After Mania main event segment was better than what we got at WrestleMania. I don't understand it. Sidro with a $2 super chat. Who had the most dream matches? Dusty Rhodes had the most dream matches. Corey, thank you again for the $100 super chat. Creator XJ. Or Creator XEJ with a $19.99. Thank you, bro. Bro, this Monday Night Raw was the best fucking show I have ever seen. Holy shit, it made me buy WWE 2K25. You know what Triple H is going to cook at Survivor Series right after what we just saw? Holy shit, just imagine. Well, there's a reason why they already announced Survivor Series. Paul Heyman said it's going to take us into WrestleMania 42, so he's not done yet, man. The pieces to the puzzle are still coming together. Thank you, brother. Matthew K with a $2 super chat. I trust JD's WrestleMania head count over WWE's. Lies. All lies. Sidro with a $5 super chat. What do Hulk Hogan and Kim Kardashian have in common? Neither know what it's like to work a real job. Wow. Why are we disrespecting Kim Kardashian like that, bro? The Omnistrone with a 15 months. Remember the Raw after WrestleMania when Vince was trying to hide writing for the show? It was so bad. Hashtag Fire Vince was trending. Bro, what year was that? 38? The first thing we see on the Raw after Mania is what? Omos versus Elijah. Whatever the fuck his name is. The Drifter. Imagine that. Fucking awful. And I heard from everybody, Vince is not in charge, man. He's not there. Fuck out of here. The guy booked Omos versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Who the fuck booked that match? You think Triple H booked that match? 39? Yeah, Elias. It was Elias, yeah. Awful. Dex with a 5. Do you think we'll see the possibility of Rusev added into this Paul Heyman group because he would be a perfect fit? No. No. Best in the world, Matt with a $2 super chat. Cody costs Randy at Backlash. Calling it now. No. No. Could be, but I don't see it. Survivor 1993 with a $13.99 super chat. Looking forward to seeing Rollins, Heyman, and Breakker as a trip, but I can't really enjoy it because I'm blinded by Dwayne's backstage politicking bullshit. Keep up the awesome work, JD. That's exactly what it is. There's some major politics going on that we'll never be privy to, and the dirt sheets will never know. I see right through their bullshit, man. I see right through their bullshit. Honored One with a 23 months. Things are shaping up to be a banger after Raw. After WrestleMania 25 and 26. Can I just say I would like Mariah to jump ship and wrestle Stephanie or Julia. Yep. I think we are going to get that, bro. I think we are going to get that. Joey Taylor with a 2. John Cena got the Kevin Nash 1999 WCW Nitro Pyro. He did. It was quite a lot of pyro for John Cena. Vincent Moore with a $5 super chat. Wow. Just saw a clip from Karrion Kross going nuclear on Triple H and told him to go fuck himself. Love seeing Bron joining Paul and Seth. I agree. I think Braun fits like a glove. Omega Kong with a 1999. Thank you, Omega Kong. I didn't think Raw was going to be good, so I took a gig today. I come back to see Raw was amazing. What's with this bipolar booking Triple H is doing? Just stopping through. We'll watch Raw after work tomorrow. OTS forever. Yeah, it's worth the watch, bro. All 3 hours of it. They went a little bit longer than normal tonight because it's needed to. The Bastard 97 with a 999. After WrestleMania Night 2's main event, I was done. I was out, but man, I don't know. Triple H always finds a way to pull me back in. Thought the show was over when they showed the graphic, but swerved us with a great ending. He usually is known for that, brother. Sidro, have a good night, brother. See you tomorrow for TNT, man. It's going to be a big one. Jay Barker. 32 months. 32 months. We got bad news. The Rock will be on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow afternoon. Let's hope he has a movie. Thank you, Jason. Soundwave 80s with a 199. Karrion Kross should join the new Dangerous Alliance. What do you think? I could see it. But I do not think so. I think he's going to be a loner and continue whatever story he is building for himself. Dalton Meister with a 5. I was thinking, what if Seth brings in Nathan Frazier and Axiom to this alliance? Now, you guys are getting crazy now. They are as baby faces as they come, bro. Lost but found with a 499. Cena should take pics of the title in his house and never bring it to the shows again. And Kross should win Money in the Bank and beat Jey Uso at SummerSlam. You want John Cena to basically be John Moxley. I'm going to say no, lost but found. We don't need anything like that happening on this show. Jake with a 2, 100% Rock. I think Backlash is the end of him. Omar with a 499. Hey, JD, I see this guy with no arms bike past me this morning. I didn't know his name, but his face rang a bell. You know what, Omar? If you were in New York City, that probably wouldn't be as bizarre of an occurrence, honestly. True Crime Unraveled with a 5. They only started fawning over the celebrities after Dwayne came back because he is friends with the majority of them that are being showcased. Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's so cringy. It's the worst thing about the TKO era. It really is. Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. What if The Rock is no longer in charge? Maybe he lost his spot on TKO. Who knows? But The Rock needs to explain himself. Well, he's on Pat McAfee show tomorrow, so hopefully he says something. Omar with a 199. What do you call a blind German? A Nazi. I don't know, man. That one may get you canceled. Mr. Premium with a 999. I can appreciate you trying to think bigger than just Cena said he would ruin wrestling. It provides solace knowing I'm not the only one who thought that the ending could have been done so much better. It could have, brother. If you ain't striving to be better, man, what the fuck are we doing here? You know? Omar with the $4.99. Why did Ash from Pokemon get arrested? He took a peek at you in the change room. By the way, my God, Stephanie and that accent makes it so much better. I love her accent. Jamel Turney with a $4.99. I'm happy Orton is getting a top billing, but I hate that he just loses all these big matches nowadays. I can't wait for him to turn heel. Patience, Jamil. Cody with a 5. Brian Last is loving everyone being pissed at The Rock. He's not big on The Rock. Yeah, fuck him. Either show up or shut the fuck up and get out. I don't give a fuck who you are. Omar with a $1.99. What's the Easter Bunny's favorite restaurant? IHOP. You're telling all the jokes now that Sidro went to bed, huh? Arrangements with a $1.99. Rock on McAfee show tomorrow, just announced. Jake with a 5. You think Triple H maybe let this dumpster fire happen to get rid of Rock's influence on creative? Listen, man, I don't know. I don't know. I repeat, I cannot believe that they sat down for WrestleMania and said, you know what, guys? Travis Scott's going to walk out there and take 5 minutes to get to the ring, and he's going to be the one to help John Cena. Just awful. Just thinking about it, it sounds so fucking terrible, man, just even repeating it. Nitin S. Chopra. Will they push Seth Rollins to be bigger than Roman Reigns? Will they push Seth Rollins to be bigger than Roman Reigns? Or is it a major run for Roman Reigns as a good guy and his bloodline already ended? Well, Seth Rollins is on his way to a major push, yes. Seth Rollins is going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. And bloodline is done. That story's over. Lauren with a 2. Becky as a heel isn't going to work. I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit. Tactical Dish Soap with a 5. What's Becky's logic? Hang out at Mania, beat up Bayley, take her spot, win a championship because why? For the IC belt? It's a logical line of questions there, Dish Soap. I don't know. Jake with a 2. Issue is nobody cares about Lyra despite the push. Well, if they had competent writers there, maybe we would care. Ryan with a $5 super chat. So, doesn't show up at Mania, but shows up on Pat's show 2 days later. Just shut up and enjoy the ride The Rock is taking you on. Yeah, fuck that. Randy Orton and John Cena have awesome chemistry, says Lauren with a $2 super chat. Do they? I don't know about this John Cena. True Crime Unraveled with a 2. Rumor has it Julia is joining Heyman. Who says? Who says? Lauren with a 2. Hopes for Paul Heyman's new faction. Great picks. Mendelf's Isma with 35 months. This is getting bigger than ever. Love to see it for you, man. I remember disliking you for going at Reigns back in 2014. You just wanted better. Let's fucking go, JD. Let's fucking go, Mendelfs. Star Butterfly with the 279. The Rock is on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow. Guys, did you know The Rock is on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow? I didn't know that. Did you know Rock is going to be on Pat McAfee's show tomorrow? Yeah! 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 I think we knew. Star Butterfly. Thank you. Lauren with a 2. Lana debuting next week. Is she back with Rusev? I don't care. I don't think Lana should be back at all. Zachary Cologne with a $9.99. JD, how about the modern day evolution of Seth and Bron? Who would you see as the other two members? Well, I think we talked about it tonight. Bronson Reed and maybe Drew McIntyre. Major with a 199. Speaking of releases, I hope the Wyatt 6 don't get cut. Yeah, I'm about done with them. Joey Taylor with a 5. Kross also in that work shoot promo that he cut on Sam and Megan's podcast says he got pissed about somebody leaking his contract information. Oh, yeah, really? Kross is great. WrestleMess with a 199. Has Io surpassed Asuka's legacy in WWE? No. No, she hasn't. Is she more popular than Asuka? Yes. Lauren with a 2. Ruthless aggression. Cena Orton, let's fucking go. Mark of Cain with a 10. I'd be happy if The Rock forces Triple H out and takes over. I love Triple H, but he deserves his comeuppance for the Montreal Screwjob. The Rock should give Bret Hart a consulting job if he wants it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work for me, brother. I do not want Rock running the show. I think that would be awful. Jake with the $2 super chat. I'm a mommy guy. I understand the peach love, though. Listen, man, nothing wrong with Rhea Ripley. We're just Stephanie Vaquer, fellas, over here. Jonas Guerrero with the $2 super chat. You touched my heart with that Kross segment. Did I? Chris Lloyd with a 5. Could Braun versus Roman happen at SummerSlam? And do they do Braun versus Gulberger before then? Well, I don't know who Gulberger is. Is that a new burger joint in town? If so, what should I order? And how are the fries? Fernando with the 20. I've been watching you for a while, just been quiet, but great show, great host, great community. By the way, Io and Stephanie are so fine. You got that right, Fernando. Appreciate you, man. I always appreciate the ones that watch in the shadows and then just come out of nowhere and comment. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the 20. Fernando also becomes a new member. Love it. Rome Collector with a $2 super chat. What if Pat gets Goldberg to help against Gunther? Rome Collector, you may be onto something there, bro. You may be onto something there, bro. I didn't even think about that, man. That's actually not a good idea, but it's a good idea. Basic with a $9.99. JD, that Killer Kross shoot promo was absolutely masterwork. He delivered that with intensity, charisma, not one stutter, and just raw emotion. Kross needs that push that he deserves. I agree. I thought that was his Miz talking smack against Daniel Bryan moment. Ryan with a 2. Austin Theory, same age as Braun. Career saver. Well, that could work. Because remember when Raw was in the gymnasium pandemic era, Paul Heyman wanted to build a Monday Night Raw 6. Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Austin Theory was one of them. He could be. He could be. That may actually save his career for sure. Best in World Matt, $5 super chat. Paul Heyman pulled Roman from the last draft. He was never signed to any brand and has been a free agent. You are correct. You are correct. I guess that's the case now, huh? Those little loopholes. Gerald Davis with a 5. Aloha, JD. Paul being added with Heyman would be an Evolution 2.0 uncrowned. Long-term booking. I like it. I like Logan Paul in that group. I think he would fit. Some people might not like it. I don't know. Fernando with a 5. This community is great. Much love to y'all. Thank you, Fernando. Furious Nation with a 999. What's up, JD? Best Raw After Mania in years, in my opinion. And I'm predicting it now. Bron or Seth beat Jey for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. And then Sammy wins the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 42. Thoughts? I like it. Wavelength Palm with a 199. Thoughts on Austin Theory for Heyman's alliance? I like that move. I don't know if they'll pull the trigger on that, but I like it. That may be met with displeasure if it happens, because he's not doing nothing right now. Patches with a 5. The Universal title is now marked retired on WWE's website. It was previously included in Cody's title run, but now it seems to have ended with Roman. Good. I don't know why it was ever included with Roman's. Or with Cody's, rather. It was a separate lineage. Vince was the one who put them together like a fucking dumbass. Furious Nation with the 499. WWE does a draft this year. 2 questions. Do you see any title switching brands? And how would you format it presentation-wise? The thing with switching titles is if you switch one title, you probably have to switch all the titles. So all the World Heavyweight titles would have to be on SmackDown, and all the World titles would have to be on, or all the WWE titles would have to be on Raw. How would I format it? I have no idea, bro. No idea. Not like they've been doing. The professional guy with the $2 super chat, the main event, should have included Rock and Austin. No, Austin just wanted to knock some fucking Karen wearing a nightmare jacket over in the front row. Furious Nation with the $9.99. Also, I will say Kevin Castle would be proud with the promo that Kross cut today. Also, love Paul Heyman roasting that fan earlier today on Pat McAfee show. It was absolutely hilarious. It was. It was. Jake with the 2. I've bought all the Sol Ruka cards within the last year. She's something else, bro. Fernando, thank you. I don't know if you repeat it again, bro, but thank you. Triple M, what's up, brother? Drew's entrance at Mania got me hyped for Doom. That game is going to cook. Congrats on the success this week. Best in the game, OTS. Thank you, bro. I am absolutely getting that Doom Dark Ages game. That looks fucking fantastic. Ed Wolf with a super chat. What is the perfect 4 matches for Evolution and SummerSlam? I don't know. We may be going Seth Roman, Punk Cena, Cody Rock would be up there for me. Those are 3. Matches for Evolution. I could see Naomi Jade. I could see Stephanie versus Julia. I could see Rhea versus Io. WWE is just probably going to wrap up existing storylines instead of do a dream match scenario with Evolution. Otherwise, it would just be just like Forbidden Door. It's not going to be an every year thing. Rome Collector with a 2. To The Rock, if you don't commit, you must acquit. Yes, I agree. Super cool with a 2. Who is a Scorpion's favorite wrestler? Sting. It's funny, I thought it was Goldberg. Furious Nation with a 499. Also happy Jay, JD, happy Rusev Day. And yes, keep Dwayne away if he can't commit. Glad to see Rusev back in WWE and excited for Aleister Black's return on Friday. As am I. As am I. I'll be here live. Cody Snyder with 36 months. Got my year 3 badge. It looks great on you, bro. I got to get some more badges for you guys. Fernando with a 10. It's not much, but I appreciate you, JD, and this community as a whole. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Fernando. The Bastard with the 199. Rock will be on Pat Matt. Guys, did you know? Listen, I'm not sure if you're aware. Guys, do you know? I gotta, you can't hear me. You can't hear me.
Guys, do you know that Pat McAfee has The Rock on tomorrow? Attention. Pat McAfee has The Rock on tomorrow, okay?
Yeah! 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 Thank you, bastard. Mad Mike with a $9.99. Thoughts on Wardlow versus Bron Breakker sometime in 25. Bro, I'd take Wardlow versus a fucking Victoria's Secret mannequin at this point. Get him out of there. JD25 with a 20. Great character development. Rollins is a dastardly heel again with Heyman on his side. Roman had his dominant run with Heyman and the Bloodline. Now he's transitioned back to a face, having to fight his way back without them. Yeah. I like it. If you don't like it, go watch Collision and be a collider. Thank you, JD25. LeBron with a 5. What direction should they go with the Wyatt family this year? I don't know. Are there any factions for them to feud? They should just throw them in the tag team division. Johnny Bishop with a 5. A lot of good options for Heyman's crew, but I'll take Drew and Bronson Reed. At least we got something good tonight after the Sunday shit show. AJSP with a super chat. Do you think we'll get Rollins, Cena at SummerSlam 25, similar to SummerSlam 15? I think Rollins wins Money in the Bank and pulls out a heist on Cena. I don't know, man. We're going to need something. Whatever the next big storyline is, man, it's got to fucking hit. JB with a 2.99. LaGreca cooked. He does. LaGreca's great. JD for Busted Open. Mad Mike with a 4.99. What about Austin Theory joining the faction? I like that. They just got to make sense of it if they're going to go do that, because right now he doesn't mean a fucking thing to anybody. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JD The Rock will be on Pat McAfee's show tomorrow. Rock TV 14 with a $1.99. Not much, JD, but you're the GOAT. Thank you, brother. Julia's Trigger with the 32 months. Cheers to the OTS family. Cheers to the OTS for life. 32 months, and Raw was good, especially with Julia Roxanne showing up. Io versus Stephanie cooked. Hashtag Raw After Mania. Absolutely. And Fernando with a 10. JD doing big numbers. You deserve it. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Guys, we were 3 hours, going on 3.5 hours, man. This is the hardest I've worked all fucking WrestleMania season in the years I've been doing this, man. This is fucking tremendous. You guys absolutely blew my mind with the support this week. And you know what? I'm labeling tomorrow's TNT the Tuesday after WrestleMania, because you're spending it on TNT tomorrow night. I'm sorry, JD, I had to do it, says Michael Krause. I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you, man. Listen, guys, I'm about to get out of here. Thank you very much for all of your support tonight. Tomorrow, you guys know where to find me. Tuesday Night Titans, the Salamonster and I will be live to give you the best WrestleMania, post-WrestleMania discussion. We'll be live for TNT episode 92. It is going to be something else, man. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night. It's going to be fucking crazy. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all of this weekend's content, plenty of it. And remember to continue to hit that thumbs up. I appreciate all the love this weekend. Thank you, guys. We are not done yet, man. We got Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow, and I'll be back live covering Dynamite as well on Wednesday. Until then, guys, thank you, as always, and I'll see you tomorrow with the Solid Monster on TNT.